Good evening, and welcome to the TheRantCastPodCast. How's everybody doing tonight? I am your host, Josh, also known as TheStrangeBus, and I am joined by my co-host here, Kurgan, also known as HeroQuest Fans. And you can join him at twitch.tv/HeroQuest Fans. That is twitch.tv/HeroQuest Fans. I'm going to go ahead and bring Kurgan on, and then we will go ahead and get started. Kurgan, you're on. Go ahead and let him know.
Cast. I like how you go right for your headphones. It's like, oh, please, my brain.
Yeah, well, I had to do an audio test, so I was like, I had to make sure I was okay, so I kept kept one ear open. Also, my wife just got home, so we got a pretty good show for everybody tonight. It's kind of on the fly for me today. I'm doing a sound check. I just restored my computer, so I think we're okay. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
How you doing?
Thanks for joining us on the RandomCast. And Rob Champ. All right.
I think we're doing okay. I think we're, I think everything is okay. I hope everybody can hear me. I just jacked my volume up, so I don't know if I sound like shit or not. We're all fine here.
Now,
thank you.
Here. How are you?
But yeah.
Reactor leak, very dangerous. Give us a few minutes to lock it down.
Go ahead and get us started here, Kurgan. I have to go tend to my wife and kids real quick, and then I will be right back. So, sorry for the short cutoff, but yeah, I'll let you.
That's all right.
I'll let you get us started.
Hour.
That's right.
Get us power through. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us on the Rantcast. Just like Josh was saying there, you can check him out on TheStrangeBus on twitch.tv/TheStrangeBus, also on YouTube. And of course, I am Kurgan, also known as HeroQuest Fans. You can find me on XSC3, home of HeroQuest Fans, on YouTube. And you can check out our show on Spotify as well. And just so you know, we're still recording your room there. Looks good. So we've been waiting patiently in the world of HeroQuest for Joe Manganiello's Manganiello. Why can't I say his name? Like I did the video where he repeats his name like 100 times and I still can't say it right. But Joe Manganiello, Crypto Perpetual Darkness. He's supposed to be giving us updates on his social media. Nothing. Nobody's seen anything. But there has been one picture that Avalon Hill posted on social media, I think on Instagram. And it said, they didn't say what state they were in, but it was pretty obvious it was Florida. They showed a picture of some bushes with a sign that says beware of alligators. And we'll get to that too. Yeah. So we're still waiting
to give me. So I'm like, I gotta put something up.
No, this is fine. Because that's the next thing I was going to talk about. This is perfect. Yeah. So we're still waiting on Joe to say something. But there's apparently some big announcement coming in HeroQuest. Now for HeroScape, which is a game that I appreciate a lot more. And, I missed it back in 2004 when it first came out. When this HasLab campaign, we've talked about it a million times, I feel like, on the show. And the thing is, like, I've been following pretty closely Renegade Game Studios that did the licensed retail release of HeroScape. They're releasing all these different boxes. And just looking at this picture here, this is from the HasLab campaign, the failed HasLab campaign from 2022. They only got like halfway to their goal. It was not funded. So they made the wise decision, I think, and probably they did this to save cost because I'm sure they had the infrastructure already. They'd created the molds and they didn't want to just let it go to waste. So they put it out in retail. Well, anyway, if you look at this picture here, I would say like 99% of the things that you see in this picture are now available to purchase in retail. And that includes like fully painted. So I think that's pretty sweet. I think that's pretty cool. On the other hand, I do remember at the time of the HasLab campaign, everybody was balking at the $250 price point. unlike the HeroQuest one, it wasn't like they gave us a couple of options, like, a smaller budget one and then a all-in one. It's like, no, it's $250 plus shipping, and you get all this stuff. So I was adding up the prices, just looking at the prices on their website, and believe me, I've seen the HeroScape packages, the Age of Annihilation, at local game shops, and the prices are the same. Like, I've never seen it discounted anywhere. I mean, maybe at some point it will be, but it seems like it's still more of a specialty item than HeroQuest, whereas HeroQuest is trying really hard to be like a mainstream game again. But anyway, they put out these painted versions, which are like for the like individual packs. It'll have like one figure in it. It'll be like maybe $10 difference between the painted version and the unpainted version. Unpainted, I mean, it's. I've seen them now. They're white plastic with gray wash. I mean, Ribby saw them at Gen Con last year. But yeah, it's like $10 difference, and then for like there's slightly bigger packs where maybe like you'll buy a box and it has like maybe 5 figures in it, like a a squad or a skirmish group. That's like maybe $20 difference between painted and unpainted, and then between like the master set, it's like $100 difference. So it's like 125 for like most of that terrain minus the plants, and maybe like a quarter of those figures. That's like 125. But then if you get the painted version, it's like 225. Now they also sell a painting set, which doesn't look anything special. I'm not sure if it's like Army Painter or if it's a knockoff or it's their own brand. But it's like, a bunch of nice paint bottles, and that's like $90. It's like, okay, so you save $10 there. But I was thinking, well, is there enough paint in there to paint all the figures, like paint everything? Which would take it would take me like over a year to paint all that stuff to the level we're talking about here. Now, the one nice thing about the HasLab campaign, if it would have been completed, is they would have given you these faction colors. So you would have had the orange and the green and blue and everything, because a lot of people don't like to paint. Well, with HeroScape, I mean, the standard was back in the day, in the 2000s, it was pre-painted, and it was painted to a pretty good quality standard. Well, I think most people agree that the modern ones that you buy that are painted are like much more high quality than they were back then. So that's pretty cool. And then the question is, like, are they all painted exactly to, like paint by numbers, or are you going to have variants? So are you going to have like maybe this artist does it a little bit differently? Are people going to try to collect different ones? Because I see that with action figures, like wrestling figures, like it'll be John Cena, but it's like, oh, they painted his shorts a little different. So somebody's going to want to collect that particular one. It's like, oh yeah, that's the one he had, at Monday Night Raw, when he faced the, whoever his opponent. So, but yeah, I've seen some of the examples, and they look pretty cool. And I actually gifted the master set to my niece, and she likes to paint miniatures, so I'm excited to see what she comes up with. Of course, it's a lot. That's like a lot of painting. But anyway, you can see those plants. Like, I bought a pack that's just those plants for $50. It's kind of a lot, but I mean, I did get the Sergeant Drake Alexander figure, the jetpack guy, for free. Now, some of those promo packs, like, I was thinking, okay, I hate the exclusivity with these tabletop games. And it's like, if you're going to have like something you can only get at a convention, like only if you pre-ordered this one thing or whatever. Well, the good news is they've released those promo packs. You can buy them. So the Drake Alexander with the jetpack, you can buy them for like $20. And it's pre-painted. Like, all the promo figures are pre-painted. There's another one. It's like, I forget what it's called, but it's a bunch of like female ninjas that are just like standing on each other's shoulders, like cheerleaders or something. Like, that's like $20, and that's painted. So they've done a pretty good job making sure the stuff comes out, and then I get the emails from them. I sound like I'm shilling for them. I'm really not, but it's like they'll say, okay, wave 1 figures are over. It's like, oh, okay, what are you saying? Wave 1 over. Oh, wave 1 is back in stock. So it's like, okay. So similar to how we've been talking to the HeroQuest guys at Avalon Hill, they'll say, okay, yeah, they do these print runs, which are calculated to sell out within a certain amount of time. And then if they think it's worthwhile, they'll do another print run. Well, it looks like HeroScape is popular enough that they're re-releasing this stuff. So just because it sells out doesn't mean it's gone. They print another run. So that's great, especially if they want to keep it up as a tournament game, which is what they always talk about. I mean, they have these official tournaments now. You can go to game shops. I've never seen one other than like what they had at Gen Con. But, you know, you sign up and you pick your... I forget now if you get to pick your army or if it's a random thing. Like if they have just a certain finite number of armies and
Is the sword
you get
included?
assigned one. Oh, man. I wish it was. But no, it's not. But for $250, you're not going to get a katana that good, right? It's just going to be a wall hanger. It's going to be made of plastic.
Damn.
Yeah. But I think it's great that they're getting to all that stuff, that all these figures, even the ones that were supposed to be exclusive, are out, or they're in pre-order at the moment. But if you're looking for the pre-painted ones, what you got to look for is there's a big gold sticker on the front of the box. And it says, you know, premium painted. All the boxes that I've ever seen in stores, though, don't have that sticker. And even though the artwork is the same, like, so the old HeroScape box, you could actually open it up and it would show you the figures inside. Well, this one, it doesn't do that. So you just see pictures of what they would look like if they were painted. But if you flip the box over and you look very carefully at the fine print, it says, you know, unpainted. So yeah, but yeah, if you see the gold sticker, the thing about those pre-painted sets, though, those go up for pre-order and then people they sell out like right away. People buy them because the old school fans, that's what they want. They want the painted stuff. But of course, they're paying extra, you know, $10, $20, $100 more for those sets. So anyway, I think if I get any more of these, it's just either going to be the promo characters or the ones that don't require painting, or we'll just be painting a lot. But I mean, like the tiles are already painted, but it's just, you know, one color. So like they've released actually some new things that are not part of this campaign, so they have branched out. I mean, the easiest one was like they had like a lava terrain, so it's red and black, but I mean it's the same molds obviously. And they had like a snow one, so it's white. But then they had some like new foliage, so they had some Christmas trees with the snow one that was kind of cool. And they did some like crab warriors and some, I don't know if they're like squirrel ninjas, because this is what HeroScape is. You know, they're trying to have these whimsical fantasy characters that are still like unique enough that it's going to be associated with this brand rather than just generic, you know, army men versus ninjas versus aliens versus robots, versus dinosaurs, which was more like what the original game was. But to be fair, the original HeroScape did have branded stuff. So they had D&D. There was a connection to Magic the Gathering. There was Marvel. So I forget all the ones they had. But I mean, eventually it would have been the ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny. You know, only one will survive. Wonder who it will be.
Mr.
So
Rogers.
yeah, that's HeroScape. Yep. That was a classic. So I don't know. Have you ever gotten to play HeroScape StrangeBus, or did you have any memories of it? Couldn't remember what you said the last time.
Oh. Well.
Come on, use your got him.
Got me. Oh wait, we weren't
Yep.
doing a mukbang? My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah. This is the mukbang stream now. Wow, we suddenly get all kinds of subs and donations.
And you
like,
gained
hey,
like 300 pounds. How did that happen? Such a short amount of
can
time.
you zoom in and turn up the volume on your microphone?
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Oh no, I haven't really had a hand in HeroScape. Board games to me have been kind of like been really finite. Like I said, I was drawn to them through Star Wars, and then I got involved in HeroQuest through you. I think we talked about HeroScape a couple times, well, more than a couple times, throughout the Rantcast's history. And I know this was brought up before.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There have been times I've wanted to like get involved with a set, And I know this is kind of sinful, but there have been times I've wanted to get involved in like things like Suit Quest, or at least take a look into it more. But
Yeah.
um,
Well,
just
I'll admit I've been there
reduced,
too.
reduced interest with like how Hasbro's operated and stuff lately. I've just kind of been like, I've been using the amalgamash way of thing. I've been watching and silently supporting. Just kind of sitting back, at least for now. I might,
Yes.
yes, I might be visiting my local shop every now and then to see if I can find something on sale. But
Hey, man.
really, to be honest, at least lately, most of my money's been invested in computer hardware. I've been watching the uh, the market on that. So,
Oh, man. That sounds like we're almost ready to segue into a new topic. I wasn't even
oh,
keeping track of the time.
bro, we've only been going for 20 minutes. I was just,
Oh, okay.
that. Not to mention the fact that I had to leave really, really
If
quickly.
you're
Sorry,
around.
sorry about that.
Oh, no. No,
Like I
no, it's
said,
fine. I
my wife
I got more
got
to
home
say.
early and she got me dinner. And like, it's like, man, this has been a really
Yeah.
great day. It's been a really, really great day. I got new hardware today. I was able to, even though it's not always panning out, my monitors keep pulling down due to my cabling, and these are heavy. I don't think my monitor arm can handle it. But I got to install new monitors today. I got to put up a new computer. I got all the bugs sorted out with that.
Hmm.
Now I'm enjoying cheap, good food and
Yeah.
relaxing today. It's kind of been an easy day, and you don't get a lot of those anymore. I feel so. At least I don't.
It's nice to have those now and then. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your plate's pretty full. So we got a couple of comments here. Jacer says that's probably why Hasbro gave it a shot, wanted to cross IPs, but now Renegade can have a go. And Rob says First Light. Well, Jacer, I see it more as the plan from the beginning. Just like with HeroQuest, I feel like the Avalon Hill guys, Patrick and Chris, they were really wanted to bring these games to retail, and they had a plan and all this stuff, but the higher ups were like, nope, you got to go, if you're going to do it, you got to prove yourself with these crowd-funded campaigns, because they were pushing this HasLab thing really, really hard. They want to go for the toy collectors, the adult toy collectors who will pay premium prices for these limited run toys. And it's like, okay, fine, we'll do that, and then it's proven itself and it's going to retail. But the whole time they wanted HeroQuest to come to store shelves, and it's just now happening with First Light, as Rob was pointing out. That's they've finally, after 3 years, 2 years it took them to get to this point.
Please.
Yep. And they kept the IP up their ass.
That's our
Yeah.
ass.
Well, and HeroScape is coming along as well. I mean, at one time, I'm pretty sure you could just walk into Toys R Us or KB or Walmart and get HeroScape, and you could buy booster packs like right off the shelf. It wasn't a collector's item. And yes, you could say the board game industry has changed a lot since 20 years ago. But it's part nostalgia, and it's part just a game that people like. I mean, people like us, people our age, introduce it to their kids, like, oh yeah, this is the game that I played when I was in high school or when I was, growing up or whatever it is. It's funny because when I was at the birthday and I was giving this to my niece, like immediately another like relative was like, oh yeah, I remember that game, and was like telling me all about it. Oh, I still got my stuff, and it was like, hey, we should get it out. We should play it. It's like you make those connections. So there's people that want to. They're ready. They just have to be activated. It's like the sleeper cell. Like, what? It's like, why don't you relax and play a little solitaire? It's like activated. Um, Jacer says the hex system was right up Avalon Hill's alley too. Well, it's funny because if you go back to one of those more recent Stephen Baker interviews, so Stephen Baker, the HeroQuest guy, one of the main, I mean, the original OG designer, he talks about how Games Workshop was, of course, involved with the development of HeroQuest. And at the start, they had this idea that they were going to have these like foam, high density foam like tiles, which I think were hexagonal. I could be wrong about that, but they were some shape, and it was like they were going to put a whole bunch of those in the box, and it was going to be like this modular kind of thing. But it didn't pan out, didn't work, or they thought it was too expensive or too elaborate, so they ditched that idea. But it's interesting how those ideas kind of come back around. A lot of RPGs use hex systems, but it's usually just, a sheet of paper or a page out of a book. It's not plastic because you got to print all these plastic pucks, and sell them. But the nice thing is then you can just design it. You can build whatever you want with it. And of course you want to have, the thing that goes up to the ceiling. So you buy like 6 boxes and then you put them all together. Or you get, if you're kids, you get your friends together. Hey, everybody bring their set tonight. We're going to put them all together. Everybody write your initials with the, Sharpie on the back so that, who's is whose, and still somebody's going to get somebody else's pieces. But yeah. Well, we've been speculating for a while based on Doug's tease that HeroScape might be the vehicle by which they cross over with HeroQuest, because it would be the easiest thing in the world to do. Any of their properties could do it already, because the whole idea of HeroScape is it's not just this, well-worn lore. It's very generic, very open-ended. It's like, okay, there's all this talk about Valhalla and these well springs, and it's like basically you're just time warping people from different parts of the universe and different time periods together to have fights. And just like Warhammer, it's just an excuse to have Army A versus Army B, and one of them is, a bunch of monsters, and the other one's a bunch of knights or samurai or ghosts or whatever you want it to be. And as long as they make it affordable, like fairly affordable, I'm just imagining some kid who doesn't have $125 or $225. He's going to buy the $50 box. And then just take that, go to the tournament, have himself a good time, or whatever. Or like the aforementioned example, you get each of your friends to buy a portion of the set, and then you just come together, you hang out, and you have your whole complete game together.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get it. I mean, I grew up with board games, and I think I did even less than you did, because I got into video games like pretty quickly. And as soon as I left home, that was my entertainment. I mean, maybe I played chess a few times with people for fun, but it was almost all video games. Everything was digital. And it's like, okay, well, board games come back, and you kind of just rediscover that excitement of just sitting down with a bunch of people and just trying out a new game, or playing a game that maybe you played as kids, but you haven't played it since. The trouble is there's so many games.
I think to me, it's kind of a thing where
Yeah,
you start off with like smaller board games when you're younger. It might be something like you develop an interest in, but like I would even say it's kind of similar thing with me and you. I was a video game kid growing up, starting with the Sega Genesis, moving into the N64, and then going on from there. And then my hobby became more hardware, computer oriented. But I've noticed with a lot of my friends, a lot of not just you, but just a lot of my friends in general have picked up board games as not only a hobby, but like a social thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Invite your friends over. Let's play some games. And like I said, I picked up that X-Wing game when he was out getting a pre-order of something, and I was like, you have a lot of board games. He goes, not all of them are meant for play. I think he has like board games based on certain movies that I wouldn't even think of. Like there's like a Halo board game he has, and there are rules and stuff to it, but like he just has it just because it was something that interested him. But like something, or Settlers of Catan, stuff like that.
Oh man, Settlers is a funny story, because my brother had that, and it was like, I knew he liked to collect or, look into things that were like, historical, educational. I'm just like, yeah, sure, whatever, you know. But then that game just exploded. I think I played it once, and it was just like, okay, that's actually kind of fun. But then it's like everyone has it, everyone's playing it, and of course it was known as Catan and not Settlers of Catan. They shrunk the title down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a sleeper hit, I guess. Yeah,
You just
overnight success. Cult.
waited to strike. Waited to strike till later,
Yep. Well, and it's such a simple game too, because I mean, not in terms of gameplay, but just it's basically just some puzzle pieces of cardboard, and then just some generic wooden pieces that are painted in a couple of colors. So
Right.
probably very cheap to produce. I mean, yeah, we've had some like 3D, magnetized versions, but hardly anybody gets those. Everybody just gets the regular set. It's become like Monopoly, or I don't know, half a dozen other games that everybody has. Risk,
I don't
Connect
know.
Four,
I had Star Wars
Connect
Trivial
Four,
Pursuit for like the longest time. Like
Stratego,
what was it, the
Life.
95 version of Star Wars Trivial Pursuit?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the gold
See,
box.
I think I could do pretty well at that game, but if it was expanded universe, I would get destroyed by you, 100%. I'd be
I
like,
don't.
Kyle Katarn?
I don't even know if it had. I can't even remember if it had expanded universe questions in it. I think it was all just original trilogy. It's like original trilogy, and then some like stuff that was like behind the scenes knowledge and whatnot. So,
Oh,
to
that
be
might
honest,
be.
back then I sucked at it. But like that was also
That's one
around
of the
the times I
few.
was young.
That's one of the few. That's one of the few franchises I might be able to actually get some of that behind the scenes stuff. I mean, I was gifted once the Doctor Who trivia game, and I was like, oh
Oh,
sweet. Like I watched a lot of Doctor Who, but it was just like super obscure stuff. It was like an episode, 128. Who designed the sets? And it's like I have no idea.
let me see
I
if I
couldn't
can
even
find it
guess.
because I lost the pieces to it. But it was this one. Yeah. Oh wow, it's only $40 on eBay. I definitely want to buy that.
Wrap it up.
Oh man. Here, let me
Okay, so
make sure.
I'm
Of,
missing some of Jacer's comments here while you're looking that up. It says the hex system was all. Yeah, okay. Many Avalon Hill battle games had hex grids and chits. It's affordable for skirmishes and small armies. Would get expensive to get enough terrain for a large battle, but you could 3D print the tiles. Well, yeah, you can totally 3D print. I've seen them, and I don't think they mind that much because I mean you're gonna buy all the other stuff, right? But you can buy a box of just those terrain hex tiles if you want to. Christmas special. Yep.
so this was it.
Classic trilogy.
Although I
Nice.
didn't have the sticker of episode 1 on here because I think they sold this for like 5 years. So there's only a 10 card collector pack of episode 1, but the original one didn't. I don't think had that. I can't remember. Yeah,
Episode 1, the beginning.
this had like steel pieces.
Nice.
So these were like metal or steel or something like that. But yeah.
It's probably aluminium.
But see, like
Could have
really
been
simple.
computer.
You had simple cards. What was Luke
Yeah.
Skywalker's call sign one on Hoth Patrol? Stuff like that. But
Pretty standard, really.
pretty
Yeah.
standard. But yeah.
I should check. I love going to flea markets and like thrift stores, and Trivial Pursuit is always there. Like, but I never look closely to see, well, what version is it?
How you doing, Bohemians?
Star Wars. Ah, the hour's later than you think, Gandalf the Grey. Hey, Bohemius. Yeah, so we were talking about the fact that we're still waiting on Joe Manganiello. Dang it. I'm never going to say his name right. I'm going to meet the guy. I'm going to shake his hand and I'm going to say his name wrong right to his face. And he's just going to
Joe
shake his head
Manganiello,
sadly.
Mr. Manganiello. Dang.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Dang it. He's gonna wear a shirt that has it phonetically pronounced. Yeah. Manganiello. Anyway, he was supposed to be updating his social media, and so far we haven't seen anything. Except Bohemius is the guy who posted the picture, the inset of the. Is that a monster in the bushes, or is it just pareidolia? Do you have that picture? Can you share it?
I might. Hold on. Let me see.
It's in the chat. It's the zoomed in picture of the bushes.
Oh my god, dude, this is gonna be
I want to
here.
believe.
All right, hold on. It's gonna be so
Play
blurry.
the
There you go.
conspiracy music. Well, it's even blurrier. Oh man.
This is what I got for you.
Yep. I mean, it kind of looks like it could be like some wings or a skull
Decipher
face. Like,
decipher this.
yep. But see, this is exactly the sort of thing that the Avalon Hill guys would do to us because they know we're looking for every little thing. But chances are it's probably just the rocks behind the bush. It's funny because what probably happens is they did put something in the picture that we're supposed to notice, but we're not looking at it. We're looking at it something totally different. We're like that corner over there. It's like no, behind the rabbit. That's where the secret is. It's like
Behind the
no, the
rabbit.
rabbit, the rabbit was the secret. But yeah, there's a picture of this beware of gators sign. So they're in Florida and something's gonna happen. But yeah,
I
big
think
announcement.
it was like I was telling you before with before we started. I feel like you guys are the most detailed scouters of your announcement slash like video. I don't know, video introduction for anything Avalon Hill. Like you guys will scout out. Like, is there like clues or secrets? I remember
Yep.
what was her name? She was out there on stage, and you were like, you guys had not only zoomed it, but like recolored the thing or something.
Oh yeah. I forget the lady's name, but yeah, she was presenting at PulseCon, and it was like the background was really dark, but you could see like little shapes. But so we brightened it up,
Yeah, you
and you could
brightened it up.
see
Oh, like what the? I
the
was like,
sprues
really?
with the HeroQuest characters, on the sprues,
And
which they still haven't released, by the way. But it was just like, oh, they clearly they knew we were gonna do this.
I was like, really? I was like, for real? And like, but you guys will find the smallest details. I was like, what they should do to throw you off is put like,
Right.
hey, we're in Miami. Here's a group photo, and like, there's just like a dude in the bushes to the left, and he's like in a bush costume, hiding in the bushes with like a Sir Ragnar figure, and he's like so far off in the distance, and like. There's also like I don't know a couple things on the other side of the photo. There's a dude dressed up in a fox costume. He's looking at the camera, and like
Yep.
then you'll have like I don't know a random HeroQuest standee like in the swamp that you guys are in front of, and like it's like dipped super down there, and then you'll have the beware of gators sign right next to him, and like you guys won't even pay attention to that. But do you see the guy in the bushes? I'm like, or no,
Wait.
there's something to do with that animal, the dude dressed up like the animal, and then at the end they'll come out and like, no, did you guys catch our beware of alligators clue? And they'd be like, wait, what?
We were looking at the obvious one. We were looking at the obscure made up one. Okay, so Bohemians, you were just trolling. But if you were, it was a good troll because it's the kind of thing we do. And seriously, Chris Nato, we miss him so much. He loved to do that kind of stuff. And I'm sure before he left, he probably told a few people like, hey, if you want to drop some little snippet of something and they'll be talking about it for weeks. It's great. They'll just totally blow it out of proportion. And it's what we do. He also says, don't worry. Yeah, keep him talking about it. Don't try to say his name with Italian pronunciation. He doesn't. Manganello. But yeah, at the beginning of the Rantcast podcast, episode 70, which if you watch it on Spotify, I actually boosted the sound so you can actually hear it at the proper volume. Maybe I should just re-upload the video. I kind of feel like maybe I should. But because on the video, it's like you have to turn the volume way up to hear Joe talking, and then you get the Rantcast in your ear. So it's kind of mean of me to do that. I didn't do it on purpose. But yeah, the picture is suspicious anyway for many other applications. Florida, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama all have gators.
I'm going to personally say to you here that like you have been the real MVP the last couple weeks when it comes to getting audio restored, getting the Rantcast up and running, and getting like stuff out to all of our platforms. Just to let our audience know, Kurgan has been the literal Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando type moment right now. Muscles bulging, ready to get to work. Yeah. It literally has, and it impressed me to get my VODs out because Twitch has been wanting to get rid of the highlight reel. But like, I just wanted to personally thank you on stream, like, because without that, you wouldn't be able to hear me. And I've been trying to solve this for a long time. So hopefully, our VOD will be good. We did a small test, and we think everything's
I'm recording the audio
but,
just in case.
But yeah, he's doing the recording of the backup just in case. But like, I think it had something to do with Streamlabs personally. I don't know. But I changed nothing before I reset my computer. I changed literally nothing. So all I had to do was reset it, and then audio came back. And now, since my computer's been reset, I guess people can hear me. It was coming in a little low, but I think we fixed that now. Voice. I am losing my voice. I think I'm getting sick, which is great. But my my infant's been going to daycare, so comes with the territory.
It's part of the deal. Well, listen, you definitely set the bar pretty high with this whole streaming thing, the dedication. So I mean, I've learned a lot, and I try to keep it going. I mean, I know that we do our thing. This weekend I'm doing family stuff, so I won't be streaming HeroQuest. And next weekend I probably won't be streaming either because of a home project that I'm doing. So yeah, I'll be really excited to get back to it. But I definitely enjoy doing the Rantcast and making it happen one way or another.
Yeah, and we didn't really get to chat before the stream started, so it'd be good to catch everybody up to speed. Yeah, you've got a couple of projects you got going on, which is good to take a vacation, catch up on life. Anyway, I always recommend it.
Definitely is.
Don't overwork yourself. I did, and it's not great. I also push myself really, really hard. But I have probably, I'm going to start, hold on, is somebody knocking at my door?
This is the Halloween episode, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I'm getting
we're gonna watch you draw the samurai sword. And okay, well, I can keep talking. We got some comments here. I can address.
Go ahead and get those on. I've got to. I'm gonna bring that picture back up, guys. But I think my kids are calling me. Give me one more second. Sorry.
All right. Jaser says Heroes of the Caribbean. Yeah. So another thing that's okay. Yeah, we're seeing HeroScape again, but so the teaser that they put up, that Avalon Hill put up on Instagram with the Gators. So that's making everybody think, okay, Florida, something to do with Florida. Maybe this is the franchise crossover with something. I mean, I have all kinds of thoughts on it. One is, as several people mentioned, there was this rumor, like more than a year ago, that Cristobal from LaGuardia de Morcar reported on, which he heard from somebody, was that there was going to be this swamp-based expansion coming out for HeroQuest. Maybe having to do with abominations, maybe with crocodile men or lizard people or something. And it's like, okay, well, alligators, crocodiles, like maybe that's happening and they're trying to get us thinking along those lines again. But then there's so many other things. It could be just, oh yeah, they just happen to be in Florida. Is there something going on in Florida, like some industry that we're supposed to know about? I mean, I was thinking, okay, so they got the sports team, basketball. Okay, what other sports crossovers are there? Well, Chris Nato, who was formerly with Avalon Hill, is now with Topps. And what do you think of Topps? They make sports cards, right? But they also make like sports action figures and stuff. So is there going to be like a Florida Gators crossover with HeroQuest, like a sports? I was thinking like, okay, Warhammer has Blitz Bowl or Blood Bowl, where they're playing football or rugby, but they're like orcs and dwarves, and they're running down the field with like spikes and everything, and it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. What if there was a HeroQuest version of that? Maybe. Maybe they could get some official teams. I don't know if they would do that though. I mean, I remember back in the day, like NBA Jam, great game for Midway. They had the teams and the players and everything. The official logos, and you had the big heads and the craziness. Well, when the sequel NBA Jam Tournament Edition came out, this is really taking us back in the arcades. It was like the NBA insisted they take certain things out of the game. So like you could play as Mortal Kombat characters. They were like, nope, can't do that. Can't shatter the backboard anymore. Like you could light people on fire, not just the ball, but you can light the players on fire. So they took that out. So there's all this stuff that was like deleted because they're like, oh no. I know it's a crazy game, but it can't be that crazy because they have their image. So I don't know, but a lot of things could happen. Maybe there could be some crossover there.
Okay.
And then what was the other comment Jacer had there? I missed it.
Jacer put down. We
Orcs,
got
swashbuckler.
Orc Pirates. Orc Pirates?
Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean. Well, HeroScape definitely does have some pirate faction type characters. Swashbuckling, they got the hats, they got the eye patches and the swords. But yeah, Bohemian says comment. Also, the rumored quest with abominations that should have been announced in this period had gators. Salt marsh, bogs, swamps. Let's go, says Jacer. Orc pirates. See, I'd be all in on the orc pirates. I mean, the bard is practically a pirate. He just called something else. That would be a huge coincidence, right? I'm playing a goblin team with my Figs League. Oh, FLGS League. Okay, so Joe Kozier is playing Blood Bowl.
Your Figs League.
His Figs. FLGS, Friendly Local Game Shop. Yeah, that was one of the first things I learned from this community.
Yeah. Sorry, I've returned. So
he's back. Well,
I'm back.
I just want to share some other really obscure piece of trivia here. So in the draft notes, talking about Mage of the Mirror, so the Elf Quest back in '92, there's all these like sarcastic comments in the margins because I mean it could be all just good-natured fun, but I sort of took it as we know they were on a deadline. HeroQuest as a franchise was ending prematurely, and they were stressed out, and so they're trying to crack some jokes. But one of them was like, yeah, and then HeroQuest is going to go away and be replaced by more profitable projects like Crocodile Dentist. And it's funny because when I went to Target and I finally after waiting around and asking him where the heck his first light is supposed to be out today, where is it? I finally saw it on the shelf, and right next to HeroQuest, just like the next shelf down, was Crocodile Dentist. So a game which I've never played, but it's still around and it's still threatening HeroQuest's supremacy for shelf space. So
isn't that the
crocodiles,
one where you push
alligators,
the teeth down and the teeth come down on you?
You probably know more than me. I don't know. It's like a kid's game, like a really simple kind of board game. I was thinking of some other game where like the teeth are made out of Play-Doh and you're supposed to like extract the teeth I don't know if that's the same game.
And it's competing for shelf space with HeroQuest.
Yeah. Well, the sarcastic comment was like this. It's not profit margin, it's product margin, right? So if I'm getting this right, the concept is, well, we could produce, X number of big box games that are going to be on the shelf and take up this amount of space and sell at this rate. Or we could sell like even more really small products that are even cheaper to make and just keep it moving. So they go with the latter. Polly Pocket beats, Risk or whatever. I mean, HeroQuest, HeroScape is definitely more labor intensive than HeroQuest because you got like everything is plastic just about. So that's going to be like more of a collector, hobbyist type of product, unless they can get to that level where it was before, where they was just flying off the shelves. I mean, I remember Chris Nato saying, "Oh, HeroScape is 8 times bigger than HeroQuest." Of course, he was talking about the community like right now, as opposed to like when it flourished 20 years ago.
Right.
But I mean, it'd be interesting to see. I would love to see what the sales figures are for these games now, because I'm sure HeroQuest is doing quite well. Now, one other thing I want to say about HeroQuest here to round out the hour. It's only 45 minutes. Dang. um, so not getting political again, but people worried about the tariffs.
Ooh, are we
People are
talking
worried
about
about
tariffs?
tariffs. Said the T word. Banned. Canceled. Yeah, everybody's worried. Oh, the board game industry. Unfortunately, so much of that supply chain crap with the plastic and the cardboard is tied up in China. So it's like, okay, well, some companies don't produce all their stuff over there, so they're going to be okay, and other ones not. There's some Kickstarters that have been delayed, I guess. I don't really back Kickstarters though, so I mean, I feel bad if you did and you got to wait longer. But
Indeed.
what we've actually been seeing for HeroQuest is kind of the opposite. And granted, this is probably stocks that they already have, but the prices have been slashed for HeroQuest stuff. Like go on Amazon. We're gonna plug Amazon because Twitch, but it's like everything is discounted. Like new HeroQuest is discounted. So, I mean, you can say what you want about where you think the industry is going, but this would be a good time to get some good deals on HeroQuest stuff. We don't have a promo code. Promo code Rantcast. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, I was almost tempted to buy some of it. It's like, dang, like Rise of the Dread Moon for $20. I mean, hey, that's more than 50% off.
So you're saying it's getting
Well,
cheaper?
yeah, it's getting cheaper.
Oh.
Now, the other thought was, well, okay, so some companies like Reaper Miniatures, they have Reaper Bones USA, like they have factories that are domestic. So, yeah, it's not all their product, but they can produce stuff locally. So, I mean, if Hasbro really wanted to, rather than saying, oh man, now we got to build a whole bunch more factories, they could farm out some of the stuff if they wanted to. Now, I'm not saying I'd like it, but they could do the First Light thing. They could print the stuff. I mean, think about D&D. Do they really have to have like a factory in China print their books for them? They could print it anywhere, right? And I probably sound ignorant, like I don't know the industry. It's like, well, actually, they save this amount of money, but yeah, rather than worrying about that, I mean, these companies. Okay, I guess I shouldn't say that. I'm like, they're smart. They know how to make a profit. Well, they also know how to lose a lot of money, and they know how to alienate customers. So I can't say for sure that they're gonna have a great strategy, but it'll be interesting to see, what companies try to do to like get around those issues and still create the product. But the nice thing about D&D and HeroQuest especially is from the beginning baked into the game and the community ethos is create your own crap. Like you don't have to wait for the company to produce the next product. So the fans will be fine regardless of what happens to the company. And I mean, just like when we talked about the layoffs, like I'm not happy to hear about people losing their jobs or getting cut. Um, there was a whole story, and I haven't even gotten really into it, but I guess even more of the D&D people have quit or resigned or left. So I don't think that has anything to do with tariffs, but it's kind of an interesting thing because it's like, okay, if they're losing all that talent, is this a brain drain? Like, are they going to go somewhere else and start their own company? Are they going to go work for one of their competitors? Because they could go work for Paizo, right? If they leave Wizards of the Coast. So I need to watch some more videos. I know Dungeon Craft, Deathbringer here. That guy, he had a series of videos, and it's always interesting to hear what he has to say. But you see it reported by more than one person, so it's not just one guy's pet peeve. It's lots of stuff. Because I know there's a lot of clickbait out there. I mean, just mention D&D on
Misinformation
YouTube.
everywhere, bro.
Yep, it's fake. Fake. Yep. So, but I think the HeroQuest fans will be fine. I mean, we're not affected by it. I mean, it's not like these expansions, like, we don't even have time to play them yet. Oh, one other thing. So I know you have Spirit Queen's Torment expansion. So these expansions that have like the special dice, like the translucent dice, a couple people have been reporting that their dice have cracked or chipped, or they've got air bubbles in them. So we're actually suspecting that so we're suspecting that there was some bad resin at the factory. So some of those batches may be defective. And I guess what I would say to those folks, because I don't know, because I haven't taken mine out of the package yet. I mean, I've used the figures, but I haven't been using the dice. Is that if they are defective, I think we as customers need to speak up. You need to contact, I was going to say your congressman, but no, contact Hasbro customer care. Let them know, hey, my product is damaged. Just like you would on eBay. You know, you buy something and it's like, you take it out of the box and it's broken.
Please. You get a bad product, even if you love the company the product comes from, because I know, respectfully, certain people in our audience will buy no matter what the turnout of the company is. And I'm not saying that in a negative manner at all. I'm saying that truthfully. We've had discussions about the shit that went on between Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, all that shit. And there have been people who are like, well, I'm just not buying for a couple months and I'll go ahead and buy again later or whatever. If you get a defective product, state the defective product. They won't know they're doing a shitty job if you don't let them know. Or the fact that they know they've done a shitty job, but they won't stop doing it if you don't let them know. So everybody utilize the voice that you have. And I've said that before. I'm literally taking the stance on that. And that's anywhere. That's any company, any corporation, whether it's here in the board game space or in my realm where it's the computer space or the video game space. I even get tempted by it. I've done it before where I've looked at something, it's broken. I said, I can fix it. It's not a big deal. Fuck. I don't want to have to go through all that shit. Sometimes going through the rigmarole is just half the battle. Because some companies do that for that reason. They make you go through that rigmarole because eventually you'll just get fucking fed up with it.
See? Rob was one of them. He has 2 sets that are cracked.
Yeah, we need to let people know.
Rob is not in the alley playing an illegal, unsanctioned craps game with his HeroQuest dice. He's not spiking them on the ground. He's not putting them in the freezer because they gave him too many bad rolls. He's just playing it normal. You know.
I'm gonna say something to you, Kurgan. You remember when Parts? I know we're not a big podcast by any means, but you know when Parts of the company used to come in and check up on us. We had people come in, and then we'd also get minor visits from Carmine.
Yeah, those were.
I don't feel like they do that anymore for a reason. The personality or the personal stuff I feel has kind of gone down since all that stuff happened.
Yeah, it's sad.
So, and I'm bringing that up for a reason is we need to let if we get a product that's bad, we need to let people know personally that it is bad.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because you can maybe glue your dice back together. You can paint the figure over, but think about it this way: maybe you're okay with it, but think of all the other people out there that their experience is ruined because
or they're first timers, or they're young, or they're people who put that money in there. Because like I said, it doesn't matter where we come from here on that subject. If you put your money into it, you're expected to get a decent product, and that's the whole point. When I was put through business, when I looked a customer in the eye, my is rigmarole a boomer term? I mean, probably.
I'm flabbergasted that you would say that.
Flabbergasted.
It's just a word that's fun to say. Yeah, I hear rigmarole.
I was raised from a lot of old school people. So yes,
Yep,
I use a lot of
probably
older terminology sometimes. But
boomer speak. Well, to the complaints, yes. We take HeroQuest very seriously, and by the same token, it can work against us because we're so hardcore. We can just absorb like anything. Oh
seconding
yeah, the
that,
next expansion will be better.
seconding that,
But
I take any product very seriously. If you put your money into it, right? And it depends on
I
how much
want it.
money you put into it, right? But if you pay for a product and the product is stated that it is a quality product, you should get what you're paying for. Period.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a stuffed animal. It doesn't matter if it's a car. You should be getting what you pay for. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And if you drive out a lot with that car and something happens to that car immediately, you should be compensated for that issue, or they should be able to fix that issue. Period. And that's always how it is. Because if a company can get away with something, they will get away with something. And we have to let those companies know that they're not getting away with something. Sorry to sound like Alex Jones here, but, you know.
I'll do it. Well, and we're not saying that you need to go Michael Douglas in Falling Down, at the burger place. But
is that's the movie where he's like he just murders people, right? Like he just like starts killing people.
He does. It's a satirical film, but yeah, basically the guy loses his job at the defense and he just kind of flips out.
Is he he's like sitting on this rock or something, and these two people come up, tell him to get off the that rock because it's stairs, and he's like, I don't see your name on it or something. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've watched that movie, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The guy, it's also a very dark comedy. Yeah, because it's like he's just like, I have nothing to lose, so he just flips out on people. But yeah, one of the things is he goes to the fast food place and they just stopped serving breakfast like 5 minutes ago.
Oh yeah,
and he gets really mad. But it's in the movie. It's interesting because his character he starts to go crazy, kind of psychotic and dangerous. And then he kind of realizes what he's doing, and he kind of backs up. It's like, oh, whoa! I just shot this Uzi into the ceiling. Sorry. Like he's walking around the restaurant, and the lady pukes, and he's like, oh, looks like we got a critic. It's like, it was a joke. It's okay. Just go back to your, I think maybe I will have just some of the regular lunch food. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah,
it's a good movie. I remember. It's been a long time. I think I might watch that again. Michael Douglas
with a bat. Oh yeah. I remember that. Yeah, because the gang members, he's not intimidated by them at all. Yeah. No. Yep. One of his best roles. Well, and I'm trying to think, was he in the game as well?
I can't remember. I just remember him. I think he was in War of the Roses. I remember him in that. I think.
Oh, I never saw that. I think he was in the game.
Yes.
And he was also in A Perfect Murder.
Yes.
That's a good one too. It's not a Hitchcock film, but it's like a tribute to Hitchcock movies.
My mom really used to be obsessed with this movie. Hold on. I have to. And it would show up on TV all the time when I was younger. And
people now remember him from Ant-Man, but he
I keep Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Hold on. I remember the movie. I'll look up the movie real quick. This was it was him, Michael Douglas. Oh God, he's old now. Damn.
Yeah, he is. He's been through throat cancer and
shit, man.
Yeah,
he didn't look half bad in Ant-Man. Now he's like, wait, how old has Ant-Man been? Oh fuck, 2015. It's been 10 years ago.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Well, he always had kind of an older looking face anyway, even when
but he really aged. He really aged in the last 10 years. Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
But he's been through some stuff, so.
Yep. But anyway, look up his career. He's a good actor. Been in some good stuff.
What's her name? Yes, Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas were
Kathleen
really. And this had a very young Danny DeVito in it. It was not very young, but it was 1989. So, if anybody's seen War of the Roses, it was it's kind of like a divorce type movie. So after 17 years of marriage, Barbara and Oliver Rose want out.
Oh,
Trouble is, neither one wants to part with their opulent home. So begins a long war between husband and wife, reaching farcical heights that leave much of the house, not to mention their lives.
makes me think of Death Becomes Her.
Romancing the Stone. Yes, that too. My
Romancing
mom
the Stone
was.
and Jewel of the Nile.
Yeah, my mom was
I
huge
saw
on those.
Romancing the Stone. Yeah, I don't think I ever saw the Jewel of the Nile. What's the reference there? Joe says he was trying to figure out the GM's name while writing a check, and the guy said, make it out to what everyone calls me, cash.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, don't make it out to cash. I mean, you can, but try to
I
figure
totally
out why.
forgot Danny DeVito was even in this movie. Holy shit. And that's
Danny
like
DeVito.
young Danny. It's a younger Danny DeVito, yeah. He's gonna be like in his 30s or some shit. But
Yep.
yeah, like,
I remember him from Taxi way back in the day.
holy shit.
Tony Danza.
Yep. That's like super young Danny DeVito.
Yep.
But yeah, I remember this movie. This was my mom's favorite. And yeah. Holy
Romancing
shit.
the Stone.
Well, that and More of the Roses, but yeah.
More of the Roses. Yeah. I don't know. Do you think I'd like it? Would you recommend it?
Yeah, if you like older movies, which I know you do.
Yeah.
It is definitely a comedy. And it is a yeah, it's got a lot of good actors in it. It has, of course, it's got Kathleen Turner, Michael Douglas, Danny DeVito, Sean Astin, Heather Fairfield, and Dan
Sounds like a good
Castellaneta.
cast.
Yeah, so it's got a lot of decent people in it.
I mean, I should say having a good cast alone is not
no,
doesn't
but
mean
like
anything. But
back then
anymore.
It was pretty good. So yeah. I mean, and Romancing the Stone is like a classic.
Jewel wasn't as good as Stone. Well, I believe that. Sequels rarely are.
But I didn't even know there was a sequel to that movie.
Yeah.
Fuck,
I think I knew about it, but I didn't know it was connected. I didn't know the two were connected.
Yeah, him and Kathleen Turner were just all over each other in the 80s.
Fatal Attraction. Oh, man.
Dude, and Danny DeVito's in this one too? Man, he must have been like in the background. Or some shit.
I always get Fatal Attraction confused with Basic Instinct, but yeah. Jaser. Yeah. Well, and they made a spoof movie called Fatal Instinct, which was I didn't get half the jokes because I hadn't seen the other two movies.
You guys are gonna make me want to watch all my favorite '80s movies now because I'm gonna have to pull all these out.
Yep. Gonna go back to the '80s.
Well, the big thing is I wish I still had my VCR, my old VCR, because I think I still have old tapes from one of these. Yes, he was in Twins, and that's what I remember. Like old Danny or younger Danny DeVito was. It's like I got Twins, Matilda. There was one other movie that I remember.
Batman Returns.
Yeah, Batman Returns, stuff like that. But yeah, I think a lot of it gets wiped because I see him so much in Always Sunny. So you literally get to watch Danny DeVito age in real time now because it's you could watch him from 2006 all the way to now, pretty much. And he literally plays an insane guy, like the entire time. Frank Reynolds is just insane. So you watch him dirty. He goes from like completely clean and a cut rich man to like completely insane, digging in the trash. And
wasn't he in the live action remake of Dumbo? I never saw it.
I never saw that.
I just saw it like a still of it, and it was like, whoa, he looks totally different.
Now I gotta look him up.
I mean, he didn't. I mean, other than Batman, he really didn't do much to like change his appearance for stuff.
Dude, DeVito's 80 years old now too. Damn, dude.
Dang.
Yeah, look how bad for 80. Holy shit.
Aged like fine wine.
I mean, considering the fact that he's always kind of been that like
kind of rough around the edges guy.
Rough around the edges, yeah. didn't look too bad for 80 years old. So, damn. Obviously, I'm trying to look up his older movies.
I love how we just segued into movies. It's good stuff. I
Yeah.
was gonna say there's a YouTuber out there. Really, I think he's hilarious because he covers so many movies that I see, like
Okay.
from the late '70s to the early '80s. Shit case cinema. Check it out.
You guys. I know Taxi was great for you guys. Hold on. Taxi was like 78 to 83. But here's one. And this is one that I've watched. This one I watched recently and didn't even know he was in. And I know somebody's going to scoff at me. But can you
Andy
name the
Kaufman on
movie?
Taxi.
Can you name, without looking up, can you name the movie he was in before Taxi?
Danny
Like,
DeVito.
real fucking early. Yeah.
I bet one of you guys can.
Don't say it.
Turner was in Undercover Blues with Dennis Quaid. Great movie, says Joe.
So, and I saw this. Yes, Cuckoo's Nest. And that was with Jack Nicholson as well.
Oh man,
I will recommend you rewatch
I can't
that
believe
movie.
I forgot. Dang.
Yeah.
I can't believe.
That's
I forgot.
1975.
Dude, you're right.
It's funny because I remember him in that, but I don't remember him in fucking Romancing the Stone or anything. It's like, man.
Ken Kesey. One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yeah. Nurse Ratched, who is also Kai Wynn in Deep Space Nine. Yeah.
Don't forget he was also in Junior.
Junior. Yeah, I saw that movie a year and a half ago. I was trying to watch all these Arnold Schwarzenegger movies that I either hadn't seen or I didn't remember seeing. And yeah, I got Junior and Twins.
Yeah, this has
Michael Douglas.
Old cast. It had Christopher Lloyd in it. Oh man,
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah. Nobody will get any of the references from that. But I remember shows used to reference Cuckoo's Nest all the time.
Juicy fruit. That's the only one, the quotable line I remember.
Man.
I remember a lot of Jack Nicholson quotes, but they're from other movies. Like As Good as It Gets.
That's Junior where Arnold was pregnant. Yes, it was.
Yep.
It's a fever dream of a movie. That's what it is to me. I don't think I can safely watch it ever again, to be honest with you. I have this weird traumatic instance with Junior where I was 6 or 7 and I walked in when it was playing on fucking TLC, or not TLC, but it was playing on one of the movie channels back then. And we had a projection screen, so big projection screen TV. I went to go walk and turn it to Cartoon Network. It was playing. My mom had one of her movie channels on. I don't know about AMC, but I went to walk in and I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was like, oh, cool, it's a Schwarzenegger flick. And I sat down, and it was right before he was giving birth or some shit. I was like, it just TNT, yeah, probably TNT, and he fucking was. I just lost it. My brain could not understand what was going on. Because I'm this fresh-faced kid who's just kind of understanding some concepts of that, and not completely fully understanding. And now I'm looking at that. So the first thing I go to ask my mom the next week, which is probably the most interesting conversation you'll have with your 7 or 8-year-old, is can men get pregnant? And my mother would probably ask me, hey, what the fuck did you get that from? But yeah, it's so I think I've watched that movie once all the way through, because before I came in halfway to the end, and I never want to touch that movie again, just for that.
Oh man!
And I
knew about it for years, and I finally just was like, you know what? I've seen the rest of the movies. Let's see what this is, and pretty much what I was expecting. It's like you lost a bet. It's like, listen, Arnold, your career can't go anywhere else. Just let's just see what happens.
I couldn't imagine him looking at the script and going, "Yes, I'll do it."
I'll do it. Do it now.
I think like somebody talked him into that. Like, hey, this might be a good look for you. You know, you've done a lot of action, and action's kind of not selling right now. You need to be a little bit more on the softer side.
Right. Get in touch with your sensitive side. Yeah, reach more people.
Yeah, sweet and womanly. You know.
Yep. Get you on the Lifetime Oxygen Network or whatever. Yep. With the Hallmark Channel.
I'm guessing he did that, but I don't know. It's just it was real weird.
So yeah,
I'll probably understand it more when I watch it now. But like, holy shit, yeah.
Headcanon. Yep, a warped sequel to Twins. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Twins was pretty ridiculous too, but it's just like, you just run with it. Once you accept the concept, just see where the ride takes you.
And Cuckoo's Nest was DeVito's third major role, if I remember right.
Wow.
Or first major role, I can't remember, but like, yeah, that's what flipped me around because I think I remember watching that a year or two ago, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll watch that. Because I was watching Nicholson movies around the time. I was trying to watch most of his, and then realized that he was in it. It's like, oh shit.
Jack Nicholson. What's your favorite Nicholson movie, if you could think of?
Ooh, hold on. I'll have to pull the list because I'm looking at DeVito movies right now. But hold on, I can give you that answer. Give me a second. Because the first thing that's going to come up is like fucking. I don't just want to say that. I don't just want to say the. Yeah.
Joker.
No, I don't want to say I don't want to say Batman. Ooh, he's 87. He's still kicking.
Yep.
Yep. Let's see.
In the Batman quotes, like even before I even saw Batman, I watched that commercial for Batman so many times, and it's like I had the lines memorized. And in the video game, they would say the lines from the trailer as well. So it's like all those quotes.
So there are a couple, to be honest, but I'm not a huge fan of his current stuff. He doesn't have a lot of current stuff, but like I think he stopped doing major stuff in the early 2010s.
Because of dementia.
Oh, does he have dementia?
Yeah.
I didn't know he had dementia. Holy shit.
So yeah, he and Bruce Willis.
Yeah, well, I know Bruce Willis is going through dementia right now. Pretty nasty dementia. I liked him. Okay, I'll start from the most I like him, and is The Cuckoo's Nest would probably be my favorite. Nice. And then it would be The Shining. Then
The Shining. That's a good one.
Then we go because I don't just want to say The Shining, but he like got into character. How he got into character for that role is pretty nuts. And I don't think I would want to work with somebody like that personally, who was like constantly in character. Yeah, like doing method acting as a serial killer, but like as a psychopath. But like, he did a good job. Chinatown.
He did a great job.
Is another one of my favorites. Oh, yeah. And then Going South. If you wanted my like secondary stuff for him is like Mars Attacks and The Witches of Eastwick and Anger Management.
Oh yeah, Witches of Eastwick. He plays the devil.
Yeah, so those are like the side, like, but like the stuff. I know he's probably had some really good roles in other things. But I either haven't seen them, I don't remember seeing them,
A Few Good Men. I have not seen that one.
Okay, yeah,
can't handle.
I have seen A Few Good Men, but like. I don't know. I haven't rewatched it recently. So, and like I said, it's going to be a toss-up. If I watch it, I'll probably have to add it to my secondary list. It's like there's stuff that I would watch anytime, and then there's stuff that like I said, Mars Attacks is like, I'll sit there before I go to bed to watch that. It's like, that's Christina Applegate in it, if anybody remembers. She's played a side role.
I felt like the movie was just like, here's a celebrity and they get killed by aliens. It's like And you think he's going to survive, and he doesn't. It's like, okay.
Yep,
Spoilers.
they all die.
Wasn't he the werewolf in Silver Bullet?
I
I
don't
remember
know.
that movie very well. There was a werewolf movie called Silver Bullet.
But
I don't think
yeah,
so, but he was in Wolf.
Chinatown was 1974, and that was a good one.
Was he in Bonnie and Clyde?
Uh,
Or no, that was Gene Hackman.
no, his real roles were like in the 50s and 60s. Like he had some really early ones,
Little Shop
but
of Horrors. Yeah, the original.
but oh yeah, yeah.
Because Bill Murray played the crazy guy who liked to go to the dentist in the remake with Rick Moranis, but in the original it was Jack Nicholson.
It wasn't Bill Murray. It was Steve Martin.
No, Steve Martin was the dentist, but
Oh, I thought that's who you were
the
talking
guy.
about. Sorry.
No,
Oh yeah,
it was
Bill
a
Murray was that. Oh
double
yeah,
fool.
okay, yeah.
Because
Okay,
yeah,
no, I
he's a
understand.
crazy guy who is a dentist who likes to torture people, but then he
Yeah,
gets the masochist, Bill Murray, who is like, "Oh yeah,
yeah.
keep going." He's like, "Get out of here, you sicko!" He tries to steal one of his instruments. It's like, "Oh, how'd that get there?" It's like, freak. Yeah, it's
I
great.
haven't seen the original. I don't think the one's from like 1960. Damn.
It's not very good, but I mean, if you just want to see a really young Jack Nicholson doing his thing, Little Shop of
Um.
Horrors, because it's played straight as opposed to being like a musical comedy, like the
Oh,
one we all know.
like
Yeah, it's just
super straight. Okay,
just like a twisted just horror movie, but
gotcha.
it's pretty low budget. But yeah, I would say my favorites. I would say I really like him as the Joker in Batman. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is great.
Okay.
I definitely like The Shining, and so I feel like I'm not even a true Nicholson fan because I don't like his less well-known stuff. But As Good as It Gets. I know that's like a little bit later,
Oh wow,
Nicholson.
yeah, that's like 97.
Yeah, but he has just so many great lines because he's just constantly telling people off because he has no sense of like social like interaction. He writes novels, but he just insults people.
Did you ever
Yeah,
watch Chinatown?
yeah, I've seen it. It's been a
Yeah,
long time,
man.
but yeah, I watched. Actually took a course at university where it was like crime films, I think, and Chinatown was one of them. It's like, oh yeah, because I'm used to Jack Nicholson as more playing like over the top, crazy characters, and it was just like, oh, okay, so he does have more range than I
Oh
give him
yeah,
credit for.
that's why I
I
liked
mean, you do
him.
what pays the
Like
bill. Yeah,
this is before a lot of his other really major roles. So you get like
mm. I
Chinatown
like
was
The
like
Departed.
good.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
he was in The Departed.
I mean, I didn't think much of the film, to be honest, but I mean, his character was solid. It's just like, oh,
Okay,
he's
I
just
gotta
like a
add
totally
that. I gotta add
amoral
that in.
guy.
Yeah, I've gotta add that
Yeah,
in. The Departed was good. It was really good. So he did really good.
Gary
That was
Busey was
06,
in
yeah.
Silver Bullet. Whitey. Okay.
Um, but yeah, Batman is
Yeah,
always a given. Like right, like I didn't name
yeah.
Batman
You
that
don't even
list
have to
because
say
like
it.
yeah, but like I I I will enjoy him in that all the time. But like, there's more to Jack Nicholson than well, there's more to it than him and the Batman. You've got multiple great actors, and you've got a really good like. There's something else. Like when I look at like Jack Nicholson, I think of The Shining, or I think of like you said,
Yeah.
like The Departed. The Departed had more good actors too, but like he really added to that. Like it wouldn't be as
Or
good without Jack
larger.
Nicholson. Cuckoo's Nest was
Yeah, for
good
sure.
because Jack Nicholson
Larger than
was
life performance.
yeah. Few
Yeah.
Good Men was good too. Like I said, if I didn't include anything in that, it's just probably because, like I said, it's
Yeah.
there are
And
certain
the
things that
Witches of
I
East.
consider.
Yeah, the Witches of Eastwick. I found that one kind of hard to watch. It's kind of intense, but I mean, he did a good job. He did a good job. Definitely one worth watching at least once.
That's a nostalgia movie for me. Like I said, my mom watched that a lot. We had it on
But A Few Good
VHS.
Men. It's got a yeah. It's A Few Good Men's on my list to watch.
What about Danny
Yeah.
DeVito movies for you? What would be good Danny
DeVito.
DeVito movies for you? Because I've got my I've got a whole
Oh,
list for you there, starting with Johnny Dangerously, because holy shit, was
oh
he good in that one?
man,
Also,
bargain corksucker. I I remember seeing that on TV, and I think my brother and I were watching it, and it was like it was probably Comedy Central, so lots of commercial interruptions, but we were just like laughing so hard because it's like this movie is just it's dumb, but it's funny.
yeah, I'm gonna
Although
tell
I
you.
do get parts of Johnny Dangerously confused with Mob Boss, which is a totally different film.
Oh wow.
But they're both like comedies that deal with like underworld stuff. So but yeah,
So
Michael
yeah,
Keaton, Johnny Dangerously.
got that. Wise Guys, Twins. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, because the guy is he supposed to be Italian? Maybe they don't even say what his ethnicity is, but it's like he has such a thick accent. He's just like cussing people out constantly, but it like they don't mute any of it out because it's you can't even. It's like you fargan sneaky bastard. Like, what?
Twins,
Yeah.
Matilda. Let's see.
Oh, and there was a product a few years back. I had to share it with a friend of mine who also knows Johnny Dangerously. It was called Corksicle. It
Oh
was
my
this.
god.
It it's this like I'm going to say it wrong. Ribby would rib me for this, but it's like a what do you call? It's like a brandy glass or something. It's like it's for a certain alcoholic beverage, and it's like the glass has a little divot in it that you're supposed to put your cigar in, so like it can hold your cigar while you're sipping your brandy or whatever it is.
Oh, I
And it was
almost know
called
what you're talking about. Hold on.
Corksicle, and I was thinking that sounds like something that character would say. You Corksicle. You fargan holes.
Oh,
Snifter. I
also,
don't know the terminology. I'm not sophisticated like you guys.
also Going South for him too, because he was also in
Going
Going
south.
South
And when was that made?
and Cuckoo's Nest.
Approximately.
So Cuckoo's Nest and Going South were 75 and 78, and they're both
Oh,
really good
okay.
movies with Nicholson and
78.
DeVito.
Year I was born. Yeah.
Yep.
So Joe, are you making fun of me, or are you saying it really is a snifter? That's what it's called. It's like a glass that holds your drink, and it has a little thing that holds your cigar at the same time. Anyway,
Hold on.
it was at some gift shop. I saw it. I'm just like,
It's called a
this is
Corksicle cigar glass, right? Or a God
yeah.
Dinger?
I don't even know what language you're speaking right now.
Yeah, it looks to me like they're called Corksicles.
Yeah, it's just funny. It just sounds funny. It's like probably got a long, dignified history, and I've just insulted, and alienated that part of our
I have
audience.
never used these before. There's even one. There's even one that's shaped like my dragon glass back there. It's got like a little divot in it. I was like, why would you do that? Just hold your cigar, bro.
Just because you can. Well, it's like a gift you get for somebody. Like, hey, here you go. Not sure what the cigar one is called, but I think a brandy glass is a snifter. Oh, okay. So I might have
Yeah,
guessed right.
because you sniff it before you drink.
Ah, gotta get the bouquet. Is that what I know that's what they say for wine, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I've never had one of these glasses, nor have I ever heard of them. It doesn't mean it's not true, but there are glasses with the divots on the top that I've drank that you put your cigar, your pipe on top. But I've never seen them with divots on the side like what I'm seeing here, or on like the
So it
side,
doesn't
like they have divots
ash.
into the glass.
Well, the ash is what gives it its charcoal taste.
Snifter is for cognac, brandy, or warmed liquor. Look, bro, I just use a nice glass,
Oh,
okay? Y'all are getting bougie up in here. I've dragon glass. I
boozy,
paid
more
a
like.
lot of money for those. I'm good with that. Yeah.
Listen, I I've got a crystal skull pitcher, and I
Crystal Skull
I just
vodka.
put Kool-Aid in it.
No turpentines.
Yeah.
No antifreeze.
Dan Aykroyd on here. Yeah. Skullhead vodka, Crystal Skull vodka. Yep. Yeah, I watched the whole like special where he talks about how they make it and everything. Tries to sell it.
I know Danny DeVito was in When in Rome, but anyway,
Danny DeVito. Yeah, I don't know if I would say I have a favorite because in my head it's Taxi and it's twins and I don't know what else. I mean, yes, he was in Matilda, and some of the other ones you mentioned. Yeah, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I just can't believe I forgot that he was in that movie. So I guess he did a good job then because I wasn't focused on it's Danny DeVito.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not familiar with his current work, mostly because I think he's doing like Christmas. He was also in Beetlejuice, but
Oh, never saw that. I almost did, but I was warned away.
I don't know when he's in Men in Black, but they say he's in Men in Black. Trying to think. Oh, he might have a cameo in there.
Yeah, there was a lot of cameos in that movie.
But I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, he plays really good supporting characters too. Wise Guys is nice, yeah. But like, I'm thinking like something that makes him good, like Twins. Twins wouldn't have been good without him and Arnold. Like,
I mean, he as the Penguin in Batman Returns. I mean, he definitely played somebody who was, you know, scary, dangerous, and also like kind of melancholy and pathetic.
There are three major actors in Batman Returns, so like three.
I didn't enjoy
if any of those changed, do you think Batman Returns would still be good?
Well, you know who was in Batman Returns?
It's me,
Christopher
Walken. I played the mayor. Or no, wait. Was that Billy D. Williams?
Billy D. Williams. Not a lot of people realize
I played the asshole that shoved the lady out of the window.
He was Harvey Dent before Harvey Dent became Two-Face. Played by a totally different actor.
I'm the Antichrist.
Got me in a real vendetta kind of mood. I haven't killed a man since 1984. Or whatever the line is. Let's see. He's the voice of the pug. Oh, yeah, he might have done some voice work in Men in Black.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He is the voice. Well, but that's... No, yeah, he is the voice of the pug. That's right. Holy shit, dude. I didn't even know that. And, oh, my God. I totally forgot because Will Smith shakes the shit out of that puppy in the first one.
Oh, man.
I remember that scene. Holy fuck, dude. That galaxy is here.
There's some over-the-top stuff. That's, you know, it's funny because at one time I was thinking like, or maybe I can't remember if this is what I thought or this is what somebody else was telling me. It's like, oh, it's a kid's movie. It's like, no, it's not. Not even close. It's twisted. It's messed up. I mean, I know it's CGI. It's early CGI, but still, you're just like, dang.
Things that were acceptable to like film, right? Because even though he wasn't actually doing that, it was just like in like the cut camera. It's still like the intention is the fact that he's shaking a dog like ferociously. And then
he's just
voicing him just going,
"It's an alien."
You see Will Smith's face going, like shaking him.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about that scene, man. And here's the thing: is I'm trying to get my. Oh, he said he's wrong. It's Tim Blaney. Okay.
Oh dang! You were gonna leave me believing that.
I almost forgot. Like I haven't watched that movie in a long time, and I was gonna let my kids watch it, and I was like, oh shit, never mind. Probably shouldn't watch him.
Well, and remember when Even right at the beginning, yeah, don't let the kids imitate what they see. When the cockroach like takes over the guy's body and he's like wearing his skin, he's like, "Is that better?" Like,
Bro, do you know how many
pulls his
times I
face.
was in kindergarten when that movie came out?
Ah,
And like, do you know how many times I have friends who talked about Men in Black around that time? I just remember like it. I don't think it
yeah.
phased me at all.
We
Like,
talked about it more than we watched it, but it was like, yeah, it's Men in Black was like a live action cartoon, but a twisted live action cartoon,
I think it kind of
and the
freaked me out a
sequels
little
were
bit when he like hollowed him out,
nowhere
and it was
near.
like he's just like a rubbery nothing, and
Oh
like
yeah.
you like, yeah.
Was it the first movie where it was the pilot, like the head opens up and there's just like a little bug inside controlling the guy?
Oh yeah,
Or was that
yeah.
Men in Black 2?
No,
Throw
I'm
Mama from the Train. Wow. I've never seen that one. I remember the trailers though. I was just like, what the heck?
trying to remember what his name is. Oh yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio, I think is his name, who plays Edgar,
Big
and
lurch looking guy.
he was
Tim
the
Lane.
he's the guy who plays Kingpin now, and
Oh,
he's also in was he in Law and Order or some shit? Um,
I don't know.
because I remember him being in something. He's supposed to be in like Law and Order SVU or something, if I remember
Okay.
right.
Dong dong.
I have like 7 tabs open trying to look up people with movies now. Like we've just gotten into talk about movies.
Vincent.
Criminal
Criminal
Intent.
Intent. Ah,
Yeah, Law and Order
okay.
Criminal Intent. Yeah, it was like early
Dong
2000s.
dong.
My wife used to watch this all the time. And I was like, that's Edgar from Men in Black. And she's like, who? Like, oh.
Here. Hold on. Let me just slam this DVD into the player. Renaissance Man.
Oh, Renaissance Man
Yeah,
is good too.
man. So many movies. Just a little time.
Okay. Since we're on the topic of movies, and that's what this podcast has become now.
Yep. It's a movie podcast.
What's your favorite Michael Keaton?
Ooh.
What is your favorite Michael Keaton, audience?
Dang. I
Starting
shoot.
with your number one favorite Michael Keaton.
I'm gonna say Batman. It's the first thing that comes into my head. I
Are
really
you?
liked Multiplicity. Did you say I failed? What?
No, I said, are you for real?
For real. I liked Multiplicity. I like shoot. Yeah, Johnny Dangerously is I guess a guilty pleasure.
I mean,
Mr. Mom was
I
good.
loved Johnny Dangerously, bro. Like
Yeah.
that was
But I'm just
really
trying to think,
good.
is there a movie that I would watch over and over again? Like
I would
Beetlejuice I
watch
like.
that movie over and over again. Like you remember the car chase scene near the end where he's like calling all cars. Johnny Dangerously's been spotted in this car. It's got this color, and he's like, oh okay. And they start painting his car as he's driving, and it
Yeah.
gets so fucking absurd that it gets to like duck wallpaper or some shit. And he's like calling all cars. Johnny Dangerously has been spotted in that what duck wall? Like it's like I will remember that
I
part
need
till
to
the day I
I
die.
need to re I need to rewatch that movie from the beginning. I've forgotten so much
It's
of
peeling
it.
off
And
the
I'm sure
shelf
they cut
paper.
stuff out of TV too.
Yeah,
Shelf paper. Yeah. Wow.
it reminds me of like Johnny Depp was in something like similar, wasn't it? Like called Crybaby or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And I barely remember it, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
So more
Mr. Mom.
recently,
Mr. Mom is another one for me.
Mr. Mom is a great one. Yeah. Um, uh, Michael Keaton was in some of the Spider-Man movies. He played the Vulture. So is that
Yes.
the Andrew Garfield one,
No.
or it was
Uh,
Spider-Man Homecoming?
I think this was it was like the first Spider-Man. No, Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh, so was this
If I
okay? What
remember
was the
right.
sequence? Was it Far From
No,
Home,
no,
Homecoming, and
Homecoming. Yeah, it was
Away?
Homecoming. He was in Homecoming. His first,
Homecoming?
yeah.
The first one with the new Spider-Man. Okay. Yeah, he played the Vulture. I mean, he did a good job, but
He is one of my favorite Batmans. I do enjoy him as
Michael
Batman.
Keaton was also in a movie about auto workers called Gung Ho. Did you ever see that one? I only saw part of it,
I did not.
but it's like I think the American workers get bought out by this Japanese company, so they're like trying to rebel, but like not get fired at the same time. So it's kind of interesting. It's comedic.
Damn.
Yeah, trying to think what else.
So for me, it's Mr. Mom,
Oh, what?
Johnny
Yeah.
Dangerously, of course, Batman, but I really can't say Batman either because, like I said, that you need all those actors to make that movie. I feel.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be the same if it were just Michael Keaton and somebody else as the Joker. Clean and Sober sold me that he could do Batman. Obviously, Beetlejuice. Yeah, Beetlejuice is good.
Yeah, well, yeah, Beetlejuice, of course. So that'd be 3.
What about? He was in The Flash, but The Flash was not good.
No, I would say because he's good in pretty much all of his movies. But the things that sold me, I liked Birdman. I also liked The Founder.
Oh shoot! Yeah, he plays Ray Kroc, the guy who bought McDonald's.
Like,
yeah, he did
even though that movie was a dramatization, it had some really good points in it, and it really makes you think about how that was done. Like, because it's really possible. Like, so if you haven't seen The Founder, 1, Michael Keaton is great in it. He really inherits that character very well. And 2, that's very possible. So
it's the sort of movie that you wouldn't think that you'd want to watch it because I'm like, who cares? I'm, not interested in the subject at all. But I started watching it because my parents wanted to watch it. It was like on Roku or something, and it's like I got sucked in. He definitely tells a story.
He's in he's in kind of like some like direct-to-video type bullshit. But just if you want to see him try to play a different character, because he's in action movies, but he's never been like a Statham ever. You should try American Assassin.
17 minutes is the screen time in Beetlejuice. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's such an over-the-top character. He just dominates it.
Also, Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice, because that movie, that sequel, would not even remotely be around if he didn't even like the other characters.
Well, yeah, imagine if it was recast. If they recast him,
but like I said, he sold that movie. He made that movie watchable.
So, to see him back in the makeup again.
And it's really funny because he'll look halfway different because he looked pretty much dead in the first one. And considering how old he is now, I mean, he doesn't look bad. He probably has a lot of makeup, but like he didn't look bad for how old he is. So,
sounded mean, but yeah, you know what I was trying to say.
I mean, yeah.
Stare at the insensitive
But Winona Ryder and like you got Jenna Ortega, Monica Bellucci.
Yep.
Fuck, you even have Willem Dafoe in that movie. So Willem Dafoe also kind of sold the movie too. Danny DeVito played a cameo in that movie too, but like once again, Michael Keaton made that movie watchable. But yeah, who else was in it? I'm trying to remember. I think it was.
Well, if you think I should give it a shot, Beetlejuice.
I think you should. I don't think you'll like it, but I think you should give it a shot.
Arnold's son is playing the new Conan. Dang. I mean, I'm all for making movies about, late night comedians, but that's ridiculous. I know what you meant. I'm just kidding. Wasn't Jason Momoa Conan?
What?
So Conan the Barbarian.
I never watched the reboot, so I have no idea if he played.
Yeah.
If he...
But I'm so used to him with the beard. I think he didn't have it. He shaved it off for the role. It was okay. But
Arnold's
yeah,
son is
Arnold
playing the
makes
new
it.
Conan. Oh,
Well, I didn't realize this. So on my Discord, there's a lot of fans of Conan the Barbarian, and they know all the lore and they know the comics and the original novels and everything. So I didn't realize that the Conan the Barbarian movie is more based on Kull the Conqueror than it is Conan the Barbarian. I mean, it's by the same Howard did both the characters, but I thought that was interesting that it's like, so what I think of as Conan the Barbarian is actually Kull the Conqueror, and what Kull the Conqueror is something else. So
interesting.
yeah, because they made a movie of that later, but they obviously would have had to change it so that it didn't seem like just a remake of Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Dune had to make itself different so didn't look like it was a remake of Star Wars, even though Star Wars is more of a spin-off of Dune. Yep, but the movie came out first, so got him.
Got him.
Yeah, Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer, and even though it's not officially the third movie, Red Sonja. Everybody says it's trash, and it is, but I like it.
Wow.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Kalidor is Conan, just under a different name. You've seen Red Sonja, I take it.
I have not.
What?
No.
You haven't seen? Okay, but you've seen Conan the Destroyer.
Yes.
Okay, we're safe. You and I are not done professionally. Well, anyway, check out Red Sonja sometime. Bridget Nielsen plays him.
It's funny because when I was younger, I liked Xena more than I liked Conan.
Oh, yeah. Crush.
Something about Xena, Warrior Princess. Kind of like,
Yep.
you know.
You wanted her to take you in her arms and.
I mean, I was 8, but like, you know.
Yeah, boys and girls loved Xena. She was something else.
Well,
And I hear that
a strong woman just whoop ass and almost no clothing.
Yep.
Xena was better than Hercules. You fucking bet. I mean, I watched both because they were both just bulked out warriors. But holy shit, yeah,
Yep.
Xena was way better.
Hercules: The Legendary Journeys, and I didn't know this until long after that. It was because Kevin Sorbo had some like health condition that they had to like radically scale back their plans for that show. And it was just such a fortuitous break that then Lucy Lawless could do the spinoff and Xena became more popular. But yeah, that's like the one time that it's ever happened. Well, maybe it has happened before, but you know, they do like you have a male character franchise and then you do this female spinoff and it bombs. But this was like the opposite.
I'm just gonna say it right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
She had PlayStation games and action figures.
You can't see it until I zoom in. Okay. This was a lot more better to look at. No offense to anybody else. Just saying.
Yeah. Why is my monitor all steamed up?
What?
Just kidding. Yeah. You just had to just picture yourself. Yeah. 8 to 12, 13 years old watching that. Yeah.
I haven't seen that show in like forever though. But like that was like peak. That was peak 90s, bro.
That battle cry she made when she would like go into battle was something to hear.
Yeah. It was truly peak 90s because nothing about that show made sense down to the armor or anything, but it was just fun to watch. It's fucking fun to watch.
It's just like they just grabbed a bunch of random costumes from the costume department and just threw some people in the woods with swords and like go for it.
There's that terrible version of Hercules with The Rock. Dude, okay, let me tell you. I'm gonna copy The Rock right now. Hey, today's my cheat day. I'm having Fazoli's for the first time. I mean, it's not only the 50th time I've had Fazoli's, but I'm gonna say it's the first time. And I just have to tell you, Fazoli's is the best. I pick it for all my cheat days. I just let you know, this is The Rock signing out. You have a good day, y'all.
I like the old Rock where they're like,
That
"Do you think I
current
should be
Rock is
eating this
so
right now?"
cringe.
Well, I think it doesn't matter what you think,
Yeah, dude.
because tonight The Rock is gonna put his what was it?
His size
Size
13 boot
13 right up your Rooney
or
Pook.
15 or
Yes.
something. I don't
Yeah,
get the
it's some
reference.
really large.
Okay, so there's this thing going around where people are thinking The Rock is kind of putting on airs for people just so he can look
Yeah.
good on his public image. It's gotten so bad that he's picked fights with people like Vin Diesel, and he's even like John Cena's even come out and said like at first like he didn't like The Rock when they wrestled, and then he had respect for him, and then when The Rock came back into wrestling, it kind of seemed a little like wacky. They had like beef again, because when The Rock comes on stage, he has these weird like contracts, especially in movies where he like The Rock can't fall down, The Rock can't get beat up, like things like that, and he talks in third person and stuff like that, like, and then he'll always like he's like in his 50s, almost 60s, and he's built like a brick shit house, and says that he doesn't do
Right.
steroids and stuff, and like there are like he's gained so much muscle mass, and like there are people thinking like he's like doing steroids because like he is built like a brick shit house. So, but nobody would have thought that if he wasn't like he showboats on the internet like every 2 seconds. And the big thing is that he goes to In-N-Out Burger, right? Well, he has made this tweet, or not tweet, but like he's made this video on Instagram where he'll go to like In-N-Out Burger and he'll say, "It's my first time eating at In-N-Out Burger. This is my cheat day." And he'll like pull up to the drive-thru and like he'll showboat in front of everybody, and like everybody, "Oh, it's a Rock!
Like,
oh my god!" And like
your usual Rock? No, this is the first time The Rock has been here.
yeah, and like for real, it'll be stuff like that. So,
No, he's kind of fake.
so he comes off like really like disingenuous, and then he'll eat the burger in front of the camera, and then he'll cut. He'll cut. But like there was like somebody who pulled his last two videos at In-N-Out Burger saying the same thing.
I mean, it's kind of funny, but also kind of sad.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like he's.
I'm sure he's not the only celebrity that does this, but yeah, maybe he just doesn't do it very, like,
No.
very transparently.
Like I said, like it wasn't a big deal until it turned out that he kind of comes off as a total chode to everybody, not when he's not on camera. Like once again, it's a celebrity thing, right? Celebrities are chodes to people sometimes, but like that's the thing is like he comes off like his life is completely perfect, and he's been blessed every
what's
day.
he talking about?
And
the Hawaii fires?
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. But
sorry, don't know. Conan the Adventurer, wasn't that a cartoon? There was like a Conan the Barbarian.
Seemed like
cartoon.
an oof moment. Oh yeah, I remember Achilles.
I mean, I remember the Scorpion King and what was the other one? Oh, the Mummy. Yeah, but
he sailed the same ship with Will Smith and Chris Rock. Whoa, what happened to Chris Rock? I mean, Chris Rock just got bitch slapped by Will Smith. I don't remember Chris Rock doing anything, but like, yeah, Will Smith was a hard hit for me. It wasn't as hard because I've always kind of known that you're, never to love your celebrities, right? But Will Smith was kind of a hard hit for me because as I grew up, I listened to his music a lot, and I went through a lot of hardships growing up, and that was kind of like what kept me level. Was a lot of his music, and a lot of his movies. Same thing with Jim Carrey, right? I used to watch Jim Carrey. Used to listen to Will Smith, and like those two were like people who were like, don't give up, keep pushing. And they were people who loved to entertain younger crowds. They were people that like pushed to make sure like family was oriented. Jim Carrey wasn't like, he was more family like on screen, right? But like it was like one of those things where, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's not the fact that he's like he made mistakes or he did something stupid. It's one of those things where his bread and butter is his phone and the internet. And it's a Rock situation. His life has no mistakes. His life has no issues. And it came out that his wife almost never loved him. And then I felt bad, and I was like, "Well, yeah, it's just not gonna be the same anymore." He also groomed his son for movies,
Yeah.
And now his
Yeah, he
son
was in
like
that
kind of like
awful
fucking love
sci-fi.
hates him. Yeah, like that was supposed to be his son's series. Like he like set his son up for that, and that's why his son like kind of hates him. Is what was it, After Earth or some shit like that? And like
After Earth,
everybody
yeah.
hated that movie.
Was he
So
also in the Karate Kid second remake?
yeah, I didn't think that was super bad. It just like I
I never
wasn't
saw it.
watchable because the first one was
I
just as
refused.
good. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I did try not to stay out of that like celebrity marriage stuff, but it sounds like it. I mean,
he did have a horrible
they were
marriage. Like his
they
wife
were
is a
not.
literal piece of crap. Like no offense, but like I understand you gotta stick by your woman, but like she's crazy. She's a fucking nut job.
Oh, oh, Will Smith is in the chat. He's coming to slap the taste out of your mouth.
Oh, good. He
But
can do that anytime. I'll meet him outside. He can catch me outside. How about that?
yeah. Oh hell no.
That's an old one. That's a throwback.
Yep, it is.
But yeah, yeah, I
Kung
don't.
Fu Kid had nothing to do with karate. Oh yeah. It wasn't even karate.
No,
Dang. Yeah.
I bet you if I rewatch it now, it probably wouldn't be great. But like,
I saw the first 3 Karate Kid movies and I stopped. I was like, just like, well, I was gonna say with Rocky, I did the same thing. I did end up watching
I watched the first two.
Rocky.
It was alright.
Yeah, I watched all the Rocky
Karate
movies.
Kid 1 and
Yeah.
2 were fine. I think. I I got to the third one. I couldn't finish it.
Was there a Creed 3 or just Creed 2?
I don't know, dude. I stopped after like I watched the first
Well,
Rocky and I was good.
I
It
realized
gave me the message that I needed, and that was it. Like,
the Creed movies are just remaking all the stuff. It's like just take all the stuff that happens in the Rocky movies and just compress them time wise. So yeah, Cobra Kai. I've never seen it.
Cobra Kai was
I'm
fun.
much more of a
You need to watch Cobra
I'm much
Kai.
more of a okay.
So if
I'm
you
much more of a
watch
movie guy, but
if you
yeah,
watch the
I'm watching
Karate Kid,
Babylon 5 now. I don't have time to watch anything else.
you watch the Karate Kid. Just watch the first Karate Kid and then go and watch Cobra Kai. You don't need to watch any of the other ones. It has nothing to do with the other ones. You just watch that one
Sweep the leg.
and then you watch Cobra Kai. I only watched the first season though.
Sweep the leg.
Yeah.
Sweep the leg. Sweep the leg.
Okay, you sweep the leg.
Yep. Rocky 5000.
I guess there was
Shark still
another like another Xena ish knockoff called Sheena. Anybody know about that?
No, Sheena from the 80s. That was first.
Oh,
Actually.
Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. No, this one is 2000.
Oh, because I saw Sheena. I might have had a little crush on her back then.
I mean, this lady's kind of, but she's like, this is like bimbo esque. Like they really tried hard. Like Warrior Princess was like nice, right? And they had a story. This just looks very outlandish.
Trash.
She's almost wearing nothing, and it's like,
Oh, it's like Xena, Sheena.
are you tying that together or what? What are you doing with that? Yeah, it's on Forgotten TV. It was what,
Huh.
2000 to 2002, I think is what it was. Yeah, it only had 2 seasons.
Okay.
Unless you're talking about the old one, which I don't know.
Tanya Roberts. Yeah. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. Well, and she was, I think, one of the. Well, I'm probably going to say it wrong, but it was like she was a comic book character, the original Sheena, like
Oh,
one of the
okay.
early, like female leads in a comic. And so, yeah, in the 80s, they made it's like she had telepathy to talk to animals. So kind of like an above ground Aquaman. But yeah, she
Oh,
just wore rags, basically.
that's really lame.
It was a cool movie, though. I mean,
Oh, the
when you
movie
were
probably
8.
sounds good. I'm talking about the show.
Oh. Yeah, this show is just trying to capitalize off the success of Lucy Lawless and her runaway hit.
For lawlessness.
Yeah, she was basically a female Tarzan, but she had psychic powers too.
That's what this
And
looks
there
like.
was
Yeah.
like, I don't think well, I guess at the end, spoiler, she leaves the jungle. But I mean, the Tarzan movies are usually like he leaves the jungle and then he comes to civilization. But where she stays out there and she like fights mercenaries and stuff, or trying to like take over the fictional nation that she's that's connected to the jungle she lives in. Queen of the Jungle. Makes me think of that song though. It's a Crash Test Dummies, or it's like Superman. Tarzan was king of the jungle and lord of all the apes.
Bro, I have no idea what you're talking about.
uh, it's Superman and Tarzan, and it's yeah, it's Crash Test Dummies, I think.
Oh,
Old
okay.
song, but it's fun because it references the comics and compares the characters, just kind of a melancholy way.
Conan the Adventurer, 1997 to 1998.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, there's Superman song. I want to say they did a video as well where it's like I'm trying to think now if that was before, during, or after the plot line where Superman dies in the comics. Like there were a couple songs about Superman. And
Okay,
anyway,
who
it was a
watched Highlander at one point in time in their life?
yo,
1992.
yep,
Show was
Highlander the series.
show was big when I was a toddler.
Oh man,
Duncan MacLeod
I
cannot
watched it
die
on
unless you cut off his head.
and take his head and with it his power. Yep. Highlander. I'm trying to think. It was on, what was that channel it was on? Why can't I remember anything? But
The
anyway, it was
first
censored on
Highlander's
TV.
the only Highlander. There
He's
could
also right
be
about
only
that.
one.
Yes, correct. You are correct, sir.
Man.
Okay, the first Highlander movie stands on its own. But if you watch the TV show, okay, it can stand on its own in a different way. But after the second season, things start to get a little stale. It's kind of like the same stuff just keeps happening week after week, which is fine for a TV show. But if you're trying to binge watch it, forget it. You're going to just get annoyed.
Okay, well then what
And
about the X Files?
the last season and a half are just completely bonkers.
Because that's how I feel about the X Files.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I
okay,
watched a
maybe
good
I
portion
didn't.
of the first season and
Maybe
maybe the third season.
maybe I didn't get far enough, but I think I got to like season 3 and 4, and there's like a lot of seasons of the X Files, right?
Yeah, there's very
But
popular
like,
show.
I got to that and I was like, okay, there were some points that like made me want to watch all the way through, and then like you get to the beginning of the season and it starts off. It's a slow burn. It's a
Mm-hmm.
hell of a slow burn because there are just some random ones that like sit there and make you think because they're meant for syndication, so they're meant to just rerun on TV. And then there's ones that are meant for like the story. They pick up like
Oh, I
what's
remember that.
what was it? Mulder's like rival or villain. I can't remember what he was called, but he was like the freaky guy that he kept going after in the beginning. Like I think it was season 2 or some shit. Let's see, now I gotta look it up.
Well, so Joe, at the same time, I always think of Joe Dawson there. There's always a Joe somewhere. Yeah, it's like there's all these immortals in the same family. That makes a lot of sense. But think of if they had either just pretended the first movie didn't exist, they could have done that, or they could have said, "Oh, it's not Duncan MacLeod, it's Connor MacLeod, and just rewrite his story with a new character because they wanted to do it week after week. But it was tough because the story arcs pretty much ended by the second season, and after that, it was just just some random immortal shows up, challenges him. They have some square offs. He beats him. On to the next episode. Repeat. And there's always some love interest, and then you never see her again. Whereas at the first, there's this whole plot line about he's trying to stay out of it, but it keeps coming back, and his past keeps coming back to haunt him, and he wants to settle down, but then this too dangerous, and he's got the young apprentice, and all this. There's all these threads, and that the detectives are tracking him down, and then they just that all just kind of drops away. And some of it was because I forget the actress's name, Alexandra Vanderroot, is that her name, who plays Tessa. She wanted out of her contract, and so they had to change the storyline quickly. And then the guy who played Darius, I want to say he died of, it was either cancer or a brain tumor, something awful like that. But so he was out, and so they tried to come up with some other character. So that's where Fitzcairn became he wasn't really a mentor, but he was a recurring character there. I mean, they did have a brilliant idea with the Hunters storyline. So that was around, I'm trying to think if that was around the third season. So Highlander did have some good stuff, but yeah, it kind of ran out of steam. And then Highlander the Raven was trash. It was terrible. It was one season long. I tried to watch it. I forced myself to watch it. There was one good episode. The rest were just completely pointless.
Okay, so like that, I can't find the guy's name, but there's always some part of the story over here that draws you into it. So I feel like it's gonna be the same feeling as I have about the X-Files, because I think I got to season 4 or 5, if I remember right. And I started.
These guys are talking some Highlander here.
Sorry, I was looking at I was trying to look at the episode.
I gotta go back. So if you were telling me a guy who just sporadically watched the X-Files back in the day, it was always something new. I had no idea what was happening. Would you say it's worth going back and watching it up to a certain point, or what would you say? You might get to be disappointed.
The way that you're watching it is it's supposed to be made for syndication for television. So it's played as if it was made on TV. So every episode you'd watch would be just an adventure that Mulder and Scully are having. Now, if you were watching it as if the new episodes were popping up, if you were one of those dedicated watchers, they had a thing for that, and it would come up every season or every other season, depending from where I watched. It would be there would be parts in the story that would click together, and then they'd really hit home towards the end of the season, if I remember right.
Premium says watch them all. Watch all the X-Files.
Yes, watch all the X-Files. See, I can't. I got to season 4, and it started becoming background to me, which is fine. But then once there is stuff that starts to starts to explain the story, I'll miss it.
Well, the T-1000, Robert Patrick got in there to replace David Duchovny.
Yeah, I know.
Was that because he went into therapy? Something?
No, if I remember, I thought it was.
Or he just.
I think it was
contractually.
I think he just had a big dick at one point in time, and he was asking for too much money. I can't remember.
Oh, maybe
it was one of those things where they offered him cash, and I think he was also taking on other things. I can't remember. He could have been into alcohol or drugs or whatever, but
they showed him a picture of David Duchovny, and he's like, "It's a good-looking boy." Is he around?
And then he molded to the same shape of David Duchovny and played him in the X-Files.
Yep. That's what they thought was going to happen, but it's oh, you mean you don't really have those powers?
Californication, I think that was much later, though.
Henry Cavill. Yeah, I don't know. First of all, they shouldn't reboot Highlander, and Henry Cavill, bless him, I'm sure he'll try his best, but I don't have high hopes for it at all.
Yeah, it was 07. for California
Well, and
cable.
the problem with Highlander is, I mean, the series, okay, they had a good thing going. That was their opportunity. But with each of the movies, it's like they had no idea that this was going to be anything other than just, a popcorn movie that people will forget about. So they blow everything up and it's too late. They have to start all over and pretend the previous movie didn't happen or kind of didn't happen, or you haven't seen it in so long that you forget that they just rewrote the story. So yeah, if they had somehow been able to plan it all out in advance and done like a nice arc, like, okay, you go through Connor or Duncan's history, from the beginning, and yeah, you could have some drama at the end and tie it all together in a nice, neat package. But that's not how they made movies back then. That's not how they wrote TV shows. It was always just like, fire it out there, hope it makes some money, and then make a cheap sequel, maybe. And then if you're really lucky, make another cheap sequel. And then make a TV show that no one's going to watch. But I think for a lot of fans, there's definitely people that are super dedicated into the show, like more than the movie. So maybe not as severe, but a good example would be like Stargate. Like, I really like the Stargate movie, never cared about the TV show. But there's people that are super hardcore into the TV shows of Stargate and don't care about
Wow.
the movie. You need a Scotsman playing a Spaniard to be legit. That's true. Not Spanish, I'm Egyptian. And you have the manners of a goat. And you smell like a dung heap.
I
And you
might
have no
take your
knowledge whatsoever of
Humvee.
your potential. Now get out. I
Wow,
don't like boats. I don't like water. I'm a man, not a fish.
that was real
Like,
good.
what accent is that? Man, that's one of those movies that, besides like Return of the Jedi, I probably would have worn out the VHS tape if it wasn't a DVD.
Damn, bro.
Like, I always heard of people like wearing out their tapes. It's like, there's no way that's happening. It's like, okay, there's a few movies that are like that for me. TV show is even better than the movie. Well, maybe I needed to give it a chance. I just knew it had MacGyver in it, and I'm like, no. But I guess I always thought of the Sci-Fi Channel as, oh, they don't have the budget. But I mean, some of these shows I've checked out like years and years later, like after they're off the air, like Sliders. Like, I never thought I'd like it, and I quite enjoyed that show. Of course, once John Rhys Davis was out of it, it was kind of like, it's not the same. SG1 was cool. Like the film too. Time for a rewatch. There you go, Mall Whip. Hey, thanks for contributing for sure. Been decades, man. Decades. Well, that's the beauty of physical media. You can go back, enjoy it. Unless it's a Warner Brothers DVD, and then you gotta have them send you a replacement because it's got that rot in the layer separation.
Oh yeah,
Check your discs.
get your replacement. Get
Yep.
your replacement here. Get your replacement here.
Get your hot dogs. Get your dry roasted peanuts.
Right.
Yeah. So you think, oh man, I'm being a Karen here. I'm complaining. It's like, listen, you paid for the product. If you don't say anything, they're just going to get away with this crap. So your dice are chipped. Your DVD's got a hole in it.
Whoa. When did we go back to
Custom.
dice being chipped? Dude, that was like 2 hours ago.
Yeah. Still, I'm just sticking up for anybody that showed up late. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now moving
Broken
on
dice.
to our next topic.
Yeah, but those dice though.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Will never end. Well, Malwhip has been telling us about the fact that some of these knockoff dice are like more durable than the official ones.
I
And
don't
it's
doubt
like,
it.
for all we know, it's the same freaking factory. So get your act together, guys. What the heck? And I mean, to be fair, and Carmine did warn us with the giveaway dice. He's like, I think these are the ones they threw away, basically. Like, take some. So he didn't set any expectations like these are high quality, but still, the ones in the box, I expect them to be better. Anyway, I'm over it. No, I'm not, but I'll pretend I'm over it just for the sake of the stream. AliExpress dice, guys, try them, says Malwit. Promo code Hardcore HeroQuest. Just kidding, man. Just kidding. So Mallwhip's got a cool website, Hardcore HeroQuest, and he definitely is hardcore. He's definitely got lots of stuff on there. I'm amazed the amount of work he's put into it. And he's got a Discord. Check it out. Hardcore HeroQuest. Who else do we have in the chat? Anybody else I need to plug here? Bourbon and Board Games for Ribby. Joe, Rob, Jacer. Oh yeah, War Builder 22J. All right. Well, how we doing? Got any more rants for tonight?
I mean, I think I did my part. I just like talking about movies today. It was nice. It was nice.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, I like when we just slide into those kind of. I always feel like you have this nice bullet point agenda, well scripted, and I just go off script, and you're just like, fine, you just like roll with it, embrace it.
I mean,
embrace the hate.
It's what it is, my man.
As long as we're having a. It's like you got any rants on this rantcast here? Hello.
Dig into the box of rants we got here,
Yep. All kinds of rants. Thanks, my dude. Big shout out to everyone on Team HeroQuest. Yeah, man. Well, probably by the time we upload all this and get it edited and thrown on Spotify, Joe will be all over social media, with his washboard abs, flexing on the latest HeroQuest thing, and we'll be playing catch up. Yeah. It's funny because like all of his if you go on Discord, it has like all the gifs, Giphy. And it's like half of them are from like Magic Mike and True Blood, where he's got his shirt off and he's like trying to be all hunka man, but it's like we were keeping it pretty G-rated for a while. We just had the ones where he's like winking and stuff, but like people went all out just making fun of him for the latest thing. It's like, Joe, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. He's a respectable actor and D&D enthusiast, and we do owe him for the dragon miniature. So respect. Rantcast.
Well, that's all we got. I'm good to call it. We're at 2 hours, so I think we'd be good for today. Yeah. I think.
Did it? Yep. We didn't eat any nvidia video cards on stage, so
look,
we're doing
man,
okay.
I'm good on that. Don't buy video cards. Don't buy them today. Just don't buy them. I guess I could put that. I could put that little tidbit in. Like people already know on my Discord, I did a major computer upgrade. I did just about everything except for a GPU. I looked up what a last gen GPU is. A 4090 right now, people are charging $3,600 for them. Do not buy a GPU this season unless you have to.
I hate to say it, but my car costs that much. It's an old one.
Like, legit, the 40 series came out a couple years back. You are fucking yourself.
Yeah.
I will offer, if I have a spare GPU, if anybody needs one, I will offer it up at a discounted price to keep
Xbox
you
360.
From getting fucked by a scalper or anybody else.
Hey, he's talking sense here.
You can't. Yep. I mean, if you can get one at MSRP, you let me know, brother, so I can hit the buy button with you. Because every time I've looked at them, they're almost $2,000 right now, or they're like $1,500. So
that's like the.
Like I said, I'm
that's
waiting.
The price of the computer.
I'm waiting at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm in no way. Yeah, I'm in no way urging people to upgrade this year. Vote with your wallet. Most of my upgrades have been through Amazon, or they've been price checked on other sites. The monitors I got were brand new secondhand. They were given to me by a friend and a distributor that I knew very, very close to me. And yes, that is
Mallwhip put in. put it into perspective, yeah, you could have your full Warhammer of HeroQuest of Battle Masters. That's a lot. Yeah.
But yeah, my total
Well,
in
I can remember.
upgrades, my total in
Yeah.
upgrades is equaling close to that just for one video card, and like I said, and that's without the GPU. If you were to do
It's
what
a
I
different
did,
game.
if you
Yeah.
were to do
20
what
years
I
ago, 20 years ago, like I remember getting a PC and it was like $2,000 was my budget. Like, you know, monitor, accessories, you know, CPU, RAM, video card, like everything. And now it's like that won't even cover the video card.
well, and that's just the
If
video
you're
card though.
trying to get, yeah.
Like everything
Mhm.
else is still moderately priced. With your tariffs involved, you're probably looking at anywhere from a $20 to a $50 increase depending on how much the price is. Like you said, I got a decent processor. I went one model under, and like I said, most of my stuff was fine. Like I said, with that plus a GPU, I'd be looking at $6,000 altogether.
Wink Martindale
Well,
Power.
thanks for following.
Hey.
But
Thanks.
without the video card, I'm probably looking at like just around $2,000 in upgrades, and that's because I did a whole new design. I ditched a lot of my old stuff. I do like CPU, motherboard, processor, RAM, or CPU, motherboard, RAM, storage space, all that crap. I got new peripherals, certain new peripherals, all that stuff. So yeah, it's expensive. But I'm going to tell you guys, it's still moderately cheap if you're on a budget to get a PC. It's just the GPU part is going to be pricey. So if you're on a budget and you want a budget game, you can get a mid-range GPU. You find them at close to MSRP if you have to upgrade. And that's what I'm trying to tell people right now is that right now it's
sorry to say I don't know who Wink Martindale is.
Yeah, neither do I. But this setup here is going to last me a while. I'll probably be looking at another 5 to 7 years before I do another major upgrade, if that at all.
Well,
okay.
I got an Evercade a while back, so I've been getting the cartridges for that.
Steam machine. Are you talking about like the Steam Deck? Or like, because I don't remember them making a Steam machine.
Oh, Joseph's game show host. Yeah, okay. I get it now. Well, rest in peace.
I haven't heard of the Steam machine in a long time. I think I used to have one actually. Like the little box. A handheld? No, it was like a little box you plugged into your TV, and like it's when they were introducing Big Picture. Oh, okay.
Codename Fremont. Yeah, so we're just reading our chat here. The new Steam machine based on Steam Deck. Codename Fremont. Like a Steam Deck with no screen or battery.
So it's
or fun, it sounds like.
Oh, so they are doing a console. Got it. Still that same goofy ass controller though.
Hook it to your TV. Well, I remember there was a time period where you just buy a controller at a store and it would have like just built-in games and you just plug it right into your TV. So, and it was like, oh, this is cool. But if the controller ever breaks, you're screwed.
So there's a lot of weird speculation with this, but this is another reason why they're going to be introducing SteamOS on multiple handhelds, right?
Or what if you just don't like the controller that they've got? Like you can't just plug another one in.
You might be able to
unless it's like a console.
But like there's not a lot of pictures here. It's just what they're talking about.
My Sega Nomad lets me plug in another controller.
SteamOS available. I'm gonna take a look at that because if I can get away from Windows eventually, I'm thinking about just going back to
all controllers,
either a Unix based system or something like that. but I can't fucking stand
Oh,
Windows anymore.
Unix system. I know this.
Yeah,
I can do this.
Do you?
I'm a hacker. I'm a real computer hacker.
You a hacker? You a real computer hacker?
Also, never try anything new.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but we'll see.
PlayStation,
We'll see how that
Xbox,
goes.
a lot. All controllers. Yeah. Well, anymore you can get like USB or Bluetooth or both controllers for just about everything. I mean, I bought a Saturn controller that has a plug for the original Sega Saturn and the USB in the same package. I'm like, hell yeah. And I didn't even think the Saturn controller was that great, but it's just like compared to what I could be using, like works for me. Wide variety of applications.
I said, I don't know.
Small Whip says I'm going to Steam, Linux, simple stuff, consoleized. Afterburner. Good game.
Wind blows. I like that.
Windows, more like wind blows.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that too, but I always stick with my personal computer. If they can do something simple like run SteamOS, then I'll be glad with that. Because
It's
the
about the
stuff on the
game.
deck is a lot better. You can still access user interface that'll get me to the web, all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know how long Windows is for this world as far as security and
Well,
stuff
Windows 10
goes.
was
They keep doing this
supposed to be
shit.
the last version, and then they did Windows 11. It goes up to 11, guys.
Oh, it's gonna keep going, bud.
Yeah, Windows 12, Windows 13, Windows 14. Shark still looks fake. Yeah. Well, speaking of running out of steam, I think we're getting to the end.
Oh, did you burn out?
Just all of a sudden, it just hits me like a
Did you
freight
burn
train.
out? Did anyone get a Windows phone? Do they still make them? No, they do not, and thank God they don't. That was during that time when Windows 8 was coming out, and they were trying to make everything modular. So like it was that square shit. There was one Windows phone that I was interested in, and thank God it had an Android like alternative. But it was the I can't remember what it was called, but it had one of the best cameras at the time. You could do like 30 megapixels or something, and this was like over 10 years ago. It had a really good camera.
Yeah,
dude, I'm telling you, A was garbage.
Like,
fuck that. I did not. I refused to go to 8. I think I went to the what was it?
The first Windows 95 was pretty horrible. You forget.
8.1. Yes, I do forget because my first PC was upgradable to Windows 98.
Yeah, and Windows 98 second edition was definitely a step up, but yeah.
Oh my god.
There was a period of time where it was just like, we're only tolerating this because it plays the games I want. That's it.
8.1 had a desktop version, and that worked for me. But yeah,
I went from like 95 to 98 to 2000 to I think I skipped XP. I went right to 7.
No, you did not. You did not skip Windows XP.
11. Well, I did. You
missed out on probably one of the greatest like times to have a computer.
My sister did give me her laptop that had XP on it, but I only had it for, I don't know, less than a year.
You're fucking with me.
Nope. Windows XP.
You probably got Vista. You probably got Vista after that, didn't you? I'm gonna tell you something that was. I think I would almost say Vista was worse than 8.
What about Millennium Edition? Remember ME? People really ragged on that one.
Yeah, but it wasn't a resource hog. Like, fuck, man, Vista was awful. It was jammed full of bloat, and like
there were still people that defended Vista. They were like, "Oh yeah, it's just you just have to unlock the potential of it."
So I could punch them in the face because, like, legit, nobody defended Vista.
They're on the witness protection program now because of that. Yeah, I went right to 7.
The only thing to me that looked good about Vista was because that's when they started doing Arrow, I think. So it was the
Yeah,
hardware
Windows
accelerated
7 was
OS.
Windows
So
7 was just like a more streamlined, user-friendly version of
it
Vista.
was fucking awful because if you had any hardware that didn't have 4 gigs of actual memory or higher, even then, if you had like a
Yeah,
PC
I
that
don't
had
remember
like
7
6
being.
gigs of memory, you had almost no fucking RAM to use because Vista hogged all of your system memory. And then it started paging regular hard drive space, used a lot of CPU power to run any background processes, and that includes their ridiculous widgets that they tried to install on there all the time. Like,
Oh yeah,
because we were new into that. That was like when Gen 1 widgets
yeah.
were a thing. So here, let's
So
put
they
this
worked
giant
out a lot
ass
of
fucking clock on the side.
the.
Like, even though your
I'm
time
glad I.
is on the fucking lower right hand side, we're gonna jam a huge fucking clock right there.
This is awesome. A new rant just like welled up.
You miss widgets from Windows Vista? I feel bad for you.
See, he's one of the people you're gonna have to
I have
go into
I
that.
have I
Go
have
into hiding.
widgets. I have widgets on my iPhone, but like those are good widgets. They run
You
in
and
the
Rob Lowe.
background.
Yeah.
Damn Clippy. I see you're trying to run your computer. Let me slow it down for you.
The truth. Early AI. He tried to warn us.
Oh,
Oh,
oh.
fuck.
That's a low hanging fruit. You use the widgets? Oh man.
The only
Hey,
one.
hey, I could give credit to Joe because he used the widgets. I hope you had enough hardware to use the widgets and
He
a
had a
bomb
liquid
ass
nitrogen
GPU.
cooled. Yeah.
Oh man.
Dang.
Yeah, I don't remember ever using it. I tried to get rid of it, and like I said, Vista had Arrow, and it was like the thin desktop. So at that point in time, I liked using the toolbar and stuff on there. But like you had horrible performance on anything. So like I said, if you were running games like I don't know Doom 3 or Fear at the time, and
Mm-hmm.
your games needed those resources, too bad Windows was hogging them.
Yeah. Like pretty OS, but I want to divert. I mean, I have the OS so that I can run these games, not so that I can just gaze at how pretty it
So,
is.
Joe, I agree with that. That's fine. If you're not a gamer, you probably didn't notice. But at the same time, if you were somebody who was going from XP, which the minimum requirement for XP, I think, was 256 megs of actual RAM, and you were going
Yep.
to somebody that needed Vista, and let's say you had your what was 2006, 2007 at the time, so you had your typical is like 4 gigs, I think, because that's all XP could recognize, if I remember right, and
Oh man, small
4 to
whip.
8
That's
gigs.
a whole nother rant cast there.
And then you upgraded, and let's say your CPU was a dual core or something like that, right? And you wanted to get the same experience you had from XP to Vista because Vista was guaranteed to, according to Windows, to run better. To me,
Yep.
man, startup for Vista took like 3 minutes because
3 minutes of playtime. Of not playtime.
and
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying is like. Also, it also did very hardware to hardware. If you had a bomb ass PC back then you probably didn't notice. But like a lot of people did not.
Listen, startup is a big deal because I can remember playing online games where my computer would crash. So I'm playing Jedi Knight, game crashes. I got to restart my computer, and I'm just thinking, man, I hope that game is still going. Like they haven't reached the kill limit yet. I'm gonna get back in there. I'm gonna type in the IP, and I'm gonna rejoin the game and get a few more points in. That's how hardcore I was for a while. 4-hour show. Let's settle in, lads. Oh man, I can't. I have no more. I have no more left. You guys have more.
Oh,
What? What's good
Oh,
stuff.
he says he has no more, but here we are. We're still talking. We were going to end
If you
this.
say-
We were going to end this show 20 minutes ago.
If you were going to say the trigger words, like boom, another rant, another one in the chamber, fire it off.
Start
Yeah,
it up
Evercade
and go
is
do
cool.
something else for 20 minutes.
The only thing I'll say is there is some early talk about how with Evercade, they're not the same build quality of cartridge as like back in the Atari, Sega, Nintendo days. So people are thinking these cartridges are not going to last, 40, 50 years.
Hey.
On the other
Hey.
hand, if you treat it well, they're probably going to last you the rest of your life.
All
So,
we need to say is,
don't
tell me
worry.
about your PC.
Enjoy.
What is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean? I'm just kidding.
Like there's a turtle that's flipped over and it's in the hot sun and you're not doing anything to help it. Just questions.
I could probably go on I could probably go on forever about it.
Yeah, they're rewritable SD. Yeah. Well, and you were building PCs at a time like if I were your age, yeah, I probably would have wanted to do the same thing.
I
But
made
it
a
was just kind
business
of like,
off
you
of
know
it.
what? I'm done. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, Rantcast.
Aw. Are you done? Are you done now?
Yeah, 10 more topics.
10 more topics and we can be done.
Nasty thunderstorm rolling in. Okay, man. Yeah. Get to shelter.
I think that's be safe. I think that is the bell for us though. It is 11:31. Yeah. Kurgan's old. He's old man. He's gotta go take his old man nap.
That's right.
So.
Beauty sleep. It's not working.
But
Beard sleep.
Let me go ahead and I'll get us rolling in for the exit. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh dang, you are hardcore. Time for breakfast tea.
Jeez.
First breakfast. UK.
All right. And so ends another Rantcast in the can. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. And for later news, we will not have a Rantcast next week. Both Kurgan and I will be preoccupied on Tuesday. We will collaborate on the Tuesday after or how we're going to be doing our Rantcast going forward. But just no Rantcast next week.
Yep.
Yeah. You can catch me. Probably not for a while because I'm taking a very long hiatus from regular streaming. Hence why I've put myself down as retired. My commitments have grown. My children are getting older and they're wanting to do things like sports. And, things that older children do. So,
yeah.
I'm going to plug Kurgan in. And if you'd like to watch my old stuff and show me some support, I'd still be happy. That's twitch.tv/TheStrangeBus and youtube.com/TheStrangeBus. But you can catch Kurgan at twitch.tv/HeroQuest fans or XSC3, home of HeroQuest fans on YouTube. I'd like to thank you once again so much for watching the Rantcast podcast, and we will see you again on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Not the next one, but the Tuesday after. Take care,
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
If you want to stick around Easter. For a raid, you can. If not, catch you later.
Oh, yeah.
Have a great night. And we'll see you later.
Rantcast. Woo!